Hello guys, it is me again. We're going over RUGL Season 1. It was our first rendition of Season 1, and I was a captain for Team Liquidation. Um, I teamed with Mac 3, Mace, or Saul, whatever you want to call him, and Confident Oyster. Confident Oyster was not actually a captain, but he was, like officially he was not a captain. But he was a co-captain. He helped us throughout the entire process with preps, with teams, with picking the players. I drafted players because Mag 3 was not around. I would not have been able to get the players we did without Oyster. He vouched for a lot of the guys. Um, so yeah, uh, going over how the team, fuck, how the tournament works. I could not play Sun Moon essentially, and I could also not play SV. I think I also could not play SV. I could not play current gen, and I could not play an old gen that I had started in or played games in. So essentially, I was limited to Sword and Shield, ORAS, Black White, or ADV. I don't know anything about ADV. I don't know enough about Black White. ORAS is easy to me, but I don't know ORAS, and I didn't want to play ORAS. I don't like ORAS. And SS, Sword and Shield, which is where I ended up, as you can see. Yeah. I didn't like this tier going into it, but I wanted to play, and this was the only tier I actually knew and like could play. Like in terms of my tiers, ultimately this was probably my second best tier. Anyway, I don't play. Even if I was able to play SV, I wouldn't play it because I just don't know it enough. So yeah, going into this, my support was I can't build this tier. I couldn't build this tier, and I probably still can't even after the tournament. So I was going to be hard carried by teams. I knew the tier and I could play it, but I couldn't prep it. So all my teams, I didn't build a single team that I used. Everything was passed by Oyster or Mag 3. It was all passed. No team was mine. So yeah, week 1 we get Ryu Snow. At this point, we actually, I don't remember the count. I know it was not the last game though. I didn't have to win this, but I mean I wanted to win it. I think, or maybe I was the last game and it was 3-4. I remember the situation behind this game is really scuffed. You see this? That's not the user. That's not the user I use. The picture. Yeah, because I wasn't supposed to play. I was supposed to sub out because I was going to be busy. I was going to be out and I was not home. So I wanted to sub out week 1. But our sub was there. He was available. But he got told by, I think, Oyster or Mace that the game was Saturday, and it was not. It was Sunday. And the opponent couldn't play on Saturday, and we couldn't play on Sunday. So essentially, yeah. So essentially, I had to play on Sunday because I couldn't play. Or because our sub couldn't play, and even I was not available. I was out about playing tennis at the time of this game. I was actively on the court playing tennis. It was not serious or anything. I was just hitting the ball around. Because I don't play tennis. I was just out there with a few people. But yeah, I was out actually just playing tennis at the time. So like between hits, I would pick my move. So that's why I was like, no, I was not available. So yeah, that definitely comes into play. But yeah, we play Ryu Snow. The thought behind this team, couldn't really tell you. I think we just kind of picked a squad. I think that's what we did for a lot of these matches. We kind of just picked a squad we thought we would be like comfortable with. More so than like a matchup thing. We obviously we got scouts. Shout out Flamingo Pokemon for that. FP. Shout out FP for that, because he provided scouts, I think, all season. So, yeah. But here, I think it was just, we needed a team, and this is what I picked. So, yeah, lead preview. The team I'm using is, it's just standard Umbreon. I think Crobat's max HP with Defog. Reuniclus is this Life Orb 3? I don't think it's Life Orb 3, but it might be. I think it's, or is this one Helmet? I forgot. Nidoqueen is just standard Nidoqueen with rocks. Escavalier is 3 attacks SD. And Milotic is Milotic. It's fast. It's actually faster than Togekiss. It's like max speed Milotic. So yeah. Going into this, I needed to manage Pangoro to the best of my abilities. Bless me. If it's SD, it's really annoying because it can switch moves. If it's not necessarily that bad because Umbreon's a very good knock switch, and Reuniclus, if it's FizzDef, which I imagine it is, I don't remember, but I think it is. Actually, it might not be. If it's Life Orb, it's not, but Crobat ultimately is also just took a CC switches. So he has switches to knock and close combat. The problem is I have to get these plays right, and if it's Life Orb, I don't have a knock switch essentially. Starmie, I didn't really know what it was other than just Rapid Spin. Because at this point I was not able to really diagnose teams. Like I looked at his team and I'm just like, I don't know anything. But I could assume like Scarf Flygon or Scarf Kiss. But like, how do I diagnose whether it's Scarf Kiss or Scarf Flygon here? Really, bless me, damn. I didn't know how to diagnose that at the time. So, you know, I didn't really know. Because a lot of his teams, this team had a lot of different options. Like Roserade was always going to be Spikes, Synthesis, Grass Move, Sludge Bomb. That's essentially all Roserade runs in this tier. And generally it's Boots. But is Flygon going to be Scarf or is Togekiss going to be Scarf? What's the Reggie's move is going to be? Is Starmie Teleport or is it offensive Life Orb, or is Pangoro Choice Band or Life Orb? I didn't know. So ultimately, this is probably a good team for them to bring into me because I don't have the most knowledge about the tier, so I can only assume a lot of things. But yeah, finally, let's get into the match. So he leads Flygon, I lead Crobat. Crobat just didn't really lead poorly into anything. I don't think I'm taunt, so it's not like I can taunt Reggie. But it's not like I don't switch into Reggie. Comfortable switches, and it matches up well into like Starmie because I can just U-turn out. Matches up well into Togekiss, matches up well into Roserade and Pangoro, and even matches well up into Flygon. So it's just, it beats 5 out of 6. It doesn't beat 5 out of 6, but it's good into 5 out of 6 of his leads. He's Flygon gets a Scarf Stone Edge off. That's fine. It gives me knowledge about whether he's Scarf or not. And I can still heal this off very easily. I still comfortably come in on Roserade. I still comfortably come in if it's banded, close combat. I still come in on that very easily. Reggie, if it's not Thunder Wave, then I can just roost it off. Like I'm fine. This at 32 HP, I'm fine. And I find out that it is Scarf Flygon, which tells me a lot. It means it's. I'm assuming it's going to be banded Pangoro, but it could definitely be Life Orb, and that I still don't know. But I imagine it's like a teleport Starmie to try to focus on getting in Pangoro. It's U-turn Flygon to like U-turn on Bronzong and shit, or Psychics just in general. Roserade for Spikes pressure, and Togekiss can do Togekiss stuff. I still don't know how to diagnose the Togekiss set, but now I know it's not Scarf Kiss, which doesn't really exist too much, but it's not like a bad set. So yeah, I go Escavalier. It gives me just a free knock into anything. And I get into Registeel, which is very good for my Crobat, because Crobat already is very good into his squad. Like, it does comfortably beat these three. It doesn't comfortably beat Starmie, but I U-turn one time, it's in Brave Bird range. And it comfortably beats these two. And, like, Brave Bird is essentially unguardable now, because it's guaranteed chip into Reggie. I guarantee get a Brave Bird U-turn off into Reggie, which is probably doing, like, 20% the combination. But it's good. Like, it's good. That's all I need. I just go back to Crobat because given how good my Crobat is, I just want to get it a roost off as soon as possible. And I don't think they're normally Thunder Wave. I just assume Toxic. I roosted off as he goes for Iron Defense. That's not really a problem. I have Reuniclus. I have Haze Milotic. I have Nidoqueen. I have way too much for this to actually be a serious problem. But I do defog the rocks because, I mean, body press is 15. I'm just not worried. I'd probably just go Reuniclus. Nope, I go Nidoqueen instead. I take a good chunk, but like I take 32. It's okay. I still comfortably live everything I need to live. I have to go Rose Raid because I just throw off a safe Earth Power because you know it's safe. I expected a Starmie pivot. Like I didn't think he'd hard Flygon because he had multiple options for just pivots. My switching was this, and his double was Starmie, which I thought was really interesting. He probably just expected Crobat, but nah, I didn't go Crobat. I went to Scavalier, which is amazing for me, because now I get extra unrecoverable damage into Registeel. This Registeel getting knocked is super big, because again, I am getting constantly unrecoverable damage into it. I just go back to Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen just puts on pressure. He has to get plays right into it. He pivots Starmie again, as I just Earth Power again, predicting his pivot, not ever going hard Flygon, but always predicting the pivot, the safe play. As he goes for a safe Scald, it's just safe play. That's it. As I double to his Cavalier, predicting a recover. I don't have a room to really punish it, so that's Cavalier. Just again, Mega Horn's unguardable. The only thing he can go is Togekiss, which I think I knocked here because I don't know what I expected. I think I just didn't want to miss. I think I knew he was just going. I think I just knew he was going Registeel and didn't want to miss. And it covered Starmie like staying in Scalding because I could just knock. And again, I just didn't want to miss. I think this is just guaranteed because like there was no situation where I was going to need to Mega Horn. Like he's not going hard Pangoro. He's not going hard Flygon. And Knock is fine into everything else. Knock still kills Rose Raid. It probably would kill Starmie at 73. It still gets unrecoverable damage into Registeel, and it gives a Knock and a Togekiss. So Knock was just guaranteed, because I was never going to have to Mega Horn there, and I didn't risk a miss. He gets back Registeel. I just go back to Crobat. It's just fine. It's just safe and free. He can throw up Iron Defenses all he wants. It's just not a problem. Here, I go back to Nidoqueen. Kind of just predicting rocks, but it also covers body press just fine. And here, he doesn't actually have a pivot anymore. So now he actually has to get the play right. I don't remember whether I get the play right or not. I don't. I just Earth Power. Togekiss made sense. Because, like, the only thing... Like, Ice Beam's not going to kill. I'm never Sludge Waving, so... Yep, I get in Milotic. Milotic is faster than this, so I literally cannot lose to this Togekiss 101. And I do actually get the Scald Burn. As he misses T-Wave, which is fine. It's not actually a big deal, because I just have Umbreon. I just go Umbreon because I can just, like, now that it's burnt, I can just pressure Togekiss. I don't pressure Togekiss. Like, Togekiss ultimately is not a problem. Like, I'm never ever going to actually struggle with the Togekiss. Unless it's, like, Nasty Plot, T-Wave, Roost, Air Slash, which is kind of a problem. But, again, I always have Haze. I always have Heal Bell. Like, I'm fine. I just pivot back and forth, really. Umbreon comes in on the Starmie. It gives you a free wish, as he does reveal the teleport. So, him going Flygon essentially means that Pangoro is choice banded. It 100% is, because there's no way you're not going to go your Life for Pangoro here. So, you're just 100% choice banned. Which is great for me to know now, because, I mean, now I know. Crobat just prevents anything from coming in. Registeel, once again, just unrecoverable damage. I just Brave Bird, because, once again, unrecoverable, and it does 17 to me. Like, it's just not doing enough to actually cause any problems. And now that he reveals Heavy Slam, I know that he's not like toxic or anything, so I know Milotic can just come in comfortably as well. Throw off a Scald. Don't get the burn, don't need it. He clicks Teleport here as he goes Pangoro. And this is where his choice band in Pangoro comes in. I have to get plays right. I just figured Knock was safe because it does guarantee you something out of the turn. If you close combat into Crobat, you don't get anything out of the turn, while a Knock into Umbreon still gives you something 100%. As I get that right, and that reveals to be 100% choice ban. Already knew, but I just Foul Play here. Just get a little bit of chip. As he reveals Helmet, actually. So it's probably just Giga Drain, Sludge, Synthesis, Spikes, which is scary, but ultimately I have a Crobat. This will not be a problem. I just go Crobat here, I'm pretty certain. Oh, no, I just throw off another Wish, which is fine, because I mean, here, do I go Neo Queen? No, I go Scavalier, because there's no way he's Flamethrower at this point, so, and he's not going to let Neo Queen come in, and I guess my Scavalier in, and I have Iron Head, so, and I time out. So yeah, like I said, I was busy. So yeah, I was busy. So yeah, I just timed out. And that's what I said. Is it comes back to bite me. I don't think I could lose this game. I'm gonna be honest. Unless Pangoro started getting like he had to get his Pangoro in, but like at this point, Starmie's sitting at 39, Roseray's sitting at 7. Like look at Crobat and look at his team at this point. Crobat is going to smoke this team. This shit is burnt too. Like Crobat looks amazing to his team. The only way he has any chance, like these 5 Pokemon do not cause a problem at all. He has to get played with Pangoro, right? The thing is, I'm not giving Pangoro opportunities really to get in. Crobat's constantly coming in. Umbreon is constantly coming in. Nidoqueen's faster, and I mean, it isn't really coming in to be fair. A Scavalier he doesn't one-shot without close combat. Rugl has not touched the field, and Milotic, it comes in on Milotic. But I can also Scald Burn, so you can't come hard in on Milotic. You have to teleport out. So yeah, I think I was in an amazing position to win this game, and I timed out. And like here, what was he gonna go? He has to go back to Registeel, but he can't, but he has to. He has no other option. So yeah, I think I was in an amazing position, and probably would not lose this game, but I timed out. So yeah, oopsies. 0-1. And we tied the week. I'm pretty sure week 1 we just tied the week. So yeah, if I hadn't timed out, we probably won the week. But here we are. I timed out. Next, we get Haxel. This time, I'm not gonna time out. Simple as that. But week 2 we play Haxel. We're both 0-1, both good for our first. I believe Haxel was 0-1, maybe Haxel's 1-0. But it was an Eldegoss. I had no idea what Eldegoss did at the time. I knew it was a spinner. Yeah, I knew it was a spinner. But that was like it. Otherwise, our teams are actually like, they're not similar. Like the first 2 Pokemon are. You know, 2 of the best Pokemon in the tier happen to be both of our teams. What a shock. This one is Life Orb Reuniclus. This one is Life Orb Reuniclus. With Togekiss is, I forgot if it's Flame. I think it is Flame on this one. Steelix is just Steelix. Guzzlord is Chopo Berry on this one, I believe. Toxicroak is Shuka Berry. And Gardevoir is Scarf. Shuka Berry SD with, does this one have Ice Punch? I don't remember. This one might be Ice Punch. But it certainly doesn't have to be. Like, the team's not weak to Flygon or anything. When you have Togekiss Gardevoir, you're not weak to Flygon. But either way, that's the team. His team. I had no idea. I assumed a more balancing build. Like, what is this Metagross? Is it just rocks? Is it Demon Grass? I assume just Demon Grass paired with, you know, whatever Arrow does. I know it's either Life Orb, Boots, or Leftovers. And it's either Stone Edge, Dual Wing Beat, Earthquake, Roost, or it's Dragon Dance, you know, Roost. Like, he only has so many things Arrow could be. And really, they're all doing a similar thing. Togekiss, I didn't know. It's probably just gonna be Thunder Wave again because paralyzing shit for Demon Grass, because you can paralyze like Milotic, and then Demon Grass can probably beat it 1-on-1. Maybe not actually beat it 1-on-1, but it can put a lot more pressure on 1-on-1. Yeah, it definitely wouldn't beat it, but it puts on a lot more pressure. It actually might be worse because then you rest and then you don't get your, like, you're wasting less PP. But anyway, Gastrodon get hazards in this gen? I don't know. I don't think I thought it was hazards, though. Though I don't know, thinking of it now, whether it gets... No, I don't think it does. I don't think it gets rocks and spikes until Gen 9. And then Eldegoss, I didn't really know what moves it would run. I just knew it would be a spinner with the grass move. That's the only two moves I knew. I knew Giga Drain, and I knew... I didn't even know Giga Drain. I didn't know if it had, like, Leaf Storm or something. But yeah. He leads Metagross, and I lead Guzzlord. And great lead for me, obviously, because now he gets a free knock. I guess he led Metagross into, like, Gardevoir, Togekiss, Steelix you comfortably switch into, and Reuniclus. Yeah, that makes sense, kinda. Anyway, I get a free knock. As he goes Togekiss, knock off his boots, which is good. Am I Heavy Slam on this one? I am Heavy Slam. As I throw off a Heavy Slam as this reveals leftovers. So yeah, Togekiss doesn't run D-Gleam, so I wasn't really worried about switching. The only thing he can really hit me with is just Air Slash. I knock here. It does not reveal Sticky Hole, so that's good. Storm Drain, which I think they mostly are back then, but I think it Toxic. I am Red Sleep Dunk, so that is fine. I'm just spamming Knock because I don't really have a switch for this. Like, the only other option is Reuniclus. I'm just okay with playing this position because it's not like a problematic situation, you know. I'm okay with this. He goes for Banded Earthquake, so it's not Demon Grass. It is Banded, which I didn't know they really ran in Gen 8. I knew like it existed because you know it existed in Gen 7, so why would it not? Well, that's not necessarily logic, but anyway, it's Banded. Do I call him here or do I just make the safe switch? Nope, make the safe switch into Togekiss as he predicts this with Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl is very comfortable switch in. I'm either going to Quake, Rocks, or just switch to Togekiss. I'm never going to Heavy Slam, which is the only way that would go poorly for you. So, I just go back to Licks. The only thing he can like beat me with here is Earthquake. So yeah, now that he's Banded Grass, I know that it's Rock's Arrow. So I mean, that's kind of annoying. But I throw off Rocks because I figured Gastrodon was coming in. So at this point, I'm definitely down. He's getting me like every turn. He got me on the Quake turn. He got me on this Togekiss. Like the last 4 turns, he's predicted me correctly. So I have to get back momentum eventually. Guzzle can come in on Quake, and I have Sleep Talk. So like if I Sleep Talk, Knock, or Heavy Slam, it's good for me. But I did rock Heavy Slam, so he obviously made the right play by switching. I just have Sleep Talk again. And then I just spam more Knocks. I don't know why I'm refusing to go Reuniclus really. Reuniclus is just a fine switch. And I get a free attack. The problem with Reuniclus is I don't really get like a 100% free attack. Because if I Psychic into Metagross, it's not actually a good situation. See, I'm just playing this interaction. He can't like beat me one-on-one. I'm just kind of stalling him out, but I'm not really like actually stalling him out. But here, my Guzzle's at 100%. I can get a Reuniclus, and now I can throw off an attack. He goes hard Metagross, and I Psychic, because you know, save Psychic, as in this is what I was talking about though, is that we let him ban Metagross again, and now it's like, well, what the fuck do I go? I think I just sack Licks. As I do, I just sack Steelix. Meteor Mash is completely free. This is Flame Togekiss. So I just have to flinch it like 1 or 2 times, and I can get it in range of Flame. So that's the game plan right here. Is I just need to flinch it a couple times, and then suddenly it's in range of Flamethrower. So we're also max special attack. So like this actually does 30%, and this enables me to flinch it down like pretty easily. I don't get it there. I tried Thunder Waving because I was like, there's no way you're just gonna give me this Gastrodon, and the Gastrodon can still recover its HP like on Guzzlord. It can still comfortably recover its HP on Guzzlord here, and Thunder Wave probably means I'm not Flamethrower unless I'm Thunder Wave, Flame, Roost, T-Wave, which I don't think really exists, but maybe it does. Either way, like Gastrodon can still recover its HP on Toxicroak potentially and Guzzlord easily. So I figured that he'd make the arrow play because, you know, it's safe. Like, there's no way I'm Thunder Waving a Gastrodon. I did Thunder Wave a Gastrodon, but Yeah, that's why I Thunder Waved here. It did not work, and he stayed in. That's so surprising too, because the second this he like if I get flinched there, suddenly Guzzlord is mad annoying for this team. That's why I'm so surprised he just give it up like that. But no matter what, I just go Reuniclus. I can't really keep Togekiss in anymore. I do recover because recover means I live a Meteor Mash from full. I live a Meteor Mash and can just throw off a Shadow Ball to kill it. So I mean that's why I clicked that. Here I just throw off another Psychic as it does 47. Just good damage. The guys throw off another Psychic. I'm just spamming Psychic now. It's free clicks. As I go Guzzlord here, I just didn't want to run out of Psychics. That's really it. Because he was, like, ultimately he was gaining HP while I was losing, like, out on my Psychics. And I need my Psychics here. Like, Gastrodon could stall him out. Eldegon's is a good pivot for it. Togekiss was actively stalling them out. Like, I did need my Psychics, and I was not low on them, but I was going to run low on them. So I just went Guzzlord. He has to switch on Sleep Talk. I obviously have to click Sleep Talk, and why wouldn't I? I'm just clicking Sleep Talk. Burn these turns. Yeah, I don't know. I could go Reuniclus, but I just don't want to get caught on these turns with going through Reuniclus. Well, he freezes me here, by the way, but then I thaw immediately, which is amazing. Got very worried there. It's kind of a neutral interaction. I rest. I go Togekiss because I was worried about Pollen Puff specifically, and it actually did like a good chunk. So as he reveals Leech Seed, I didn't even know it got Leech Seed. I could probably assume that it got Leech Seed though, but I didn't know it got Leech Seed. He goes Metagross hard on Gastrodon, but at this point I'm at 100%. Metagross is in range of Shadow Ball. Metagross is a giant threat to my team. I take the Psychic. I also know that my Reuniclus is like extremely fast, so I'm possibly faster than just Gastrodon. I haven't found out, but Gastrodon looks to be like not fast, probably. I don't know. Like Guzzlord was doing the damage where I figured it could not have much speed at all, and I'm like very fast for Reuniclus, so there's a good chance I'm just faster than Gastrodon. So I can recover off in Gastrodon. And I live Shadow Ball, knock it out the Metagross. Metagross was the biggest threat to my team at that point because I just kind of didn't have a switch in for it. And Gardevoir Moonblast gets significantly better now. It gets an arrow. I go Guzzlord because I assume he's just going to Quake here. And I'm right. If he edged, it'd be a little bit more problematic, but I obviously have to Sleep Talk. Here, I don't even click Sleep Talk. Yeah, I was right. I don't click Sleep Talk because I have no reason to click Sleep Talk. I'm not actually putting on any pressure right now. This knock is doing 22 though, so it does force recovers gradually. I thought of a random heavy slam, just because it kind of doesn't too much matter what I click, but cover Togekiss coming in. Again, just kind of a neutral interaction. He's not gonna throw off a Toxic here, so I figured I'd stall a little bit of PP. And like it's sitting at 63. My flinch, like my air slash flinches, are like actually a threat at that point. I get chip off for an Aerodactyl, which is actually very valuable because Reuniclus now knocks it out with Psychic. Well, before it didn't. I mean, that's not necessarily a big thing, but with Reuniclus at 17, I do have to worry about knocking out Aerodactyl. As I go hard Toxicroak on Edge, because I've counted it, and Edge into Quake didn't kill me because I am Sugar Berry, and it's actually Pressure Aerodactyl. So it's not like unnerved. So my Sugar Berry is going to come into really big play here. As I just click Drain Punch. He obviously knows I can Sucker. So I just click Drain Punch here. As I get the play right. And get my Toxicroak actually a good amount of HP now as well. So this Aerodactyl actually nets nothing into this Toxicroak. It just netted at Stone Edge. And my Toxicroak is actually pretty decent here. It's not good, but it's good for being... It's like good for beating... Forcing recovers with this. And it beats these two. But yeah. I drained. Because ultimately he was in range of Air Slash anyway. And he's in range of Scarf Gardevoir. He's in range of everything. And so either way, Drain was my play, I think. As he predicted Sucker Punch, and I get the play right. So he gets in Reuniclus. It's still a problem. but I figured Togekiss was a pretty comfortable switching because I have Thunder Wave. Like I could just T-Wave it and then throw on pressure. And at this point, my Togekiss kind of just wins if it gets like a couple flinches into Gastrodon. I don't necessarily have to play that way. I don't necessarily have to get those flinches though. I go for Thunder Wave, miss. It's not that big of a deal. I just roost. He knocks off my boots, but at this point, like, the thing is my Togekiss doesn't have to switch at this point. Because, like, I could just keep throwing off attacks or roost as I Paraflinch down the Reuniclus. I just flame, as I do. I am flame. So that's what I was game planning for. Max special attack Togekiss is going stupid. I max speed timid, so I just knock out the Togekiss. Gastrodon, at this point, I can just stay in, flinch it a couple times because the Togekiss is broken, and then I knock then I will knock out the Eldegoss. He actually disconnected, and I had to sit there for 5 minutes while, yeah. This was also after our REPL game that I lost, and we actually needed that win. Like this is a REPL game we had to win. I needed to win to have any chance of playoffs, and then I lost. So yeah. Anyway, that was a very long game, but I won. So now we're 1-1 playing Fiend, who I actually don't remember his record at all. I imagine it's not 2-0. It brings a weird-ass team. Ferroseed, Vanillix. Everything else is actually pretty standard. But Drapion, I don't see Drapion in this Sword and Shield. My team, I don't know. What's the team? It's, I mean, just Rocks, Gigalith, Vileplume is just Vileplume. I think this one is Eat Seed Shenanigans. I don't know, it's just Vileplume. Flygon is, I don't think this Flygon's Scarf. I don't remember though, I think it's, I don't remember. I could not tell you what these are. I have no idea what half this team is. I lead Reuniclus because it doesn't necessarily lead poorly into anything. Because like the only thing it leads bad in is Drapion, and Drapion doesn't have Pursuit, so I can just switch into Gigalith, or Vileplume, or Flygon. I'm no item Flygon, I think actually. Like or maybe I'm not. No, I think I am. I'm pretty sure I'm no item Flygon. And DD Roost. Like DD's not gonna win here, but that's fine. Reuniclus is in. I don't know what this Reuniclus set is. It's Knock. So I get a knock into Ferroseed immediately, which is very good actually, as he gets a para off, which is not really that big of a deal. Yeah, I mean, it's like I would rather not be paralyzed, but honestly, if anything was gonna take it, I'd take that. As he knocks, and I reveal Helmet, so I'm Helmet. As I throw off a Psychic, at this point it's kind of free because there's kind of no switching other than Drapion. I knocked here, by the way. I did click knock here, and I got robbed, but it doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter, but anyway, I just go Flygon. He brings in Drapion, which is not good, but as he has Ds. I was worried about Ice Fang, but he just is knock, and I'm no item, so I live. And that's why we run no item, guys. And I just roost here, I'm pretty sure, because I'm... So yeah, Drapion is revealed his set and is at 57. Fuck. 57 and has no Sugar Berry. So, yeah, probably should be Ice Fang, but who cares? I bring in Gross and Crobat as he U-turns. He goes Drapion as I reveal Leftovers. So maybe I'm not Rocks? I don't know what else I'd be, though. Have I just Demon Gross? I don't think I brought a Demon Gross. But anyway, Flygon's a 1,000,000% switch into Drapion. He gets a poison immediately, which is like lucky, but it's a 30%. It's not incredibly unlikely. I go Gigalith because I want my rocks up if I get him up. I know it's the right period. It's an easy double, but I mean, what's a man to do? It's either DD or Defog. I'm guessing it's Defog. I go Plume because I don't want to get Ice Punch with Flygon. I don't know if this one has Ice Punch, but I don't want to find out. I go for Infestation because I know Vileplume's coming in, or like Crobat, and it just gets Chip off. I can play this interaction. I choose to because I don't necessarily have the easiest switch for it, and I probably shouldn't have done this, because it automatically makes me weaker to Mimikyu. Yeah, probably shouldn't have done this, but I did. Then I switched because I don't knock it out, and my Crobat is paralyzed. So this is actually really bad. Mimikyu is looking very poised to put on pressure late game. This is paralyzed. This is paralyzed. This is a 60 with rocks up. But yeah, I just clicked U-turn or Brave Bird. I actually defog. Because at that point, it's like, I was gonna let this get knocked too, I guess, but it doesn't matter. I get smacked down with Vileplume. As he's really fast. He's really fast. Like, as you see, speed 94, 76 min. It's not actually how that works, but, like, I should be faster. And I have a little bit of speed. I think I'm like 24 speed. So I was just like, I'm definitely faster. And then the Rhyperior outspeeds me and knocks me out. I'm like, okay, I'm fucked. Again, a Reuniclus. I think I just clicked Psychic. I wanted the chip. I didn't get it. So yeah, I doubled a Flygon predicting Drapion, which is a good play. But I mean, at this point, I'm really far down. I really need to fight back. Everything's gonna fight back. It's gonna be Gross, I guess. I do 41, which I definitely just Demon Gross. He said he misclicked. Doesn't really matter. Just keep roosting. I think I just roost again. I go Reuniclus, calling Crobat? No, I think I went it on, like... I just knew I live stuff. I'm defensive. I live stuff. I think that's the only reason I went this. I get paralyzed again. So, these paras are adding up. I don't know why he's not clicking Spike. You guys always get the extra spikes up. You didn't click it, though. So, I mean, at this point, I'm really not looking great, though. I go Flygon because I kind of just am forced to. At this point, Vanillix is putting on pressure because it actually is netting like damage into Gigalith, and his doubles are playing like it's just really bad. Like it doesn't do enough, but I can recover. But I'm playing this Para War where it's like he's gotten really fortunate with Paras. To be fair, like I've been able to throw off 5 attacks, and I've gotten Paras like a lot. 1, 2, 3. 4. Like I've been getting paralyzed a lot. Okay. Like I've thrown off 5 attacks and I've had like 10 opportunities to. So, but whatever. It's looking very grim right now. But I just roost because I mean, what else am I gonna click? Crobat can keep playing his interaction because I can't really punish it. I go for Dragon Dance, so I like put on some type of pressure. But ultimately, there's a Mimikyu. Like I'm able to kill with Stone Edge, which is great. There's like Ice Shard potential. Rhyperior even still lives. Mimikyu still has his protection. Disguise, like it's just like really bad situation. And he makes a fucking double again. Like dear God, he keeps doubling with into Rhyperior, which is a good boy. Smackdown, Suicide Defog, just to try to do something. Force damage into a Meteor Mash range, which I successfully do. I go Gigalith. I believe I am Rock Blast. Shadow Claws into enough. I double into Metagross hoping he goes Rhyperior because then I can Cosmic Power and then rest. But even that, I mean, it wouldn't be enough. Like, I've lost this game at this point. I cannot win this game at this point. But I was just kind of hoping I could win. But I mean, there's just no chance. So yeah, Fiend beats me. Could I have done differently? I don't know. I don't think I played amazingly, but I also think I got really unlucky with Reuniclus Para turns. And him immediately getting the poison into Flygon forced me to roost like every single time, which also sucked. But I mean, I let the hazards go up. I let everything get paralyzed. I also let multiple things get knocked. I mean, by the end, 4 out of 6 of my members were knocked. Like, to be fair, 2 of them were knocked during the game, but like, I let Crobat get paralyzed, I let Reuniclus get paralyzed, and then I got punished for it. So I probably didn't play this one very well. Next we have Gold Cat. Funny thing about this is this team was passed to me by Oyster. No, this was a Mace team. And then I tested one game versus Oyster, and it was this. Like, this was the team. Like, Oyster played a test game versus me, and this was the team Oyster used. Yeah, in one test game we found out, and that's good because originally this Registeel was a stack attack, and then I got folded by Tornadoes because I had no switch in for it. So then we made the switch from stack attack to Registeel because of that. And yeah, then I get the stack matchup. So I was like, wow, okay. So then at this point, I have a good matchup in the rain. I mean, Suicune, Celebi, Registeel, and this specifically, Sand is actually useful because it spins on these guys. Like, it's actually, I have a great matchup in the rain. So I was like, and I just played this team, and I nearly won. I did lose the test game, but only because I got fucked up by Tornadoes. And then we made the Registeel switch, and like, so I'm good. I mean, I'm good going into this. I feel very comfortable. And the game did matter. We were, I think if I won, I secured the week, or something like that. Like, but anyway, the week was not over yet. So he leads Politoed. I just lead Celebi because I mean, oh, I guess I should say my team. I believe this is the Celebi's Pollen Puff for Reuniclus. Just standard Fizdef Sand. I mean standard. It's Sand Slash. It's Fizdef Sand Slash with spin. Suicune is just, I don't remember the set, but I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure it's Subcoon. But Callbine, Suicune stuff, standard Fizdef Reggie, Chokers, I cannot tell you. And Flygon, I think it's just Scarf. I start with Psychic, not letting in Tornadoes, and I mean, it's just like what I was gonna click. I have my answer to this now, because I have a Registeel, and he doesn't actually break Registeel very well. He only has like Seismitoad and Toxicroak that actually force any type of damage into it. I mean, Kingdra does too, but I have very good answers to Kingdra. So yeah, he gets into Seismitoad, which is a problem. Seismitoad is actually a big problem for this team. But I kind of just have to outplay. I mean, I can outplay. Yeah, I get the Quake turn right. He cannot knock me out now. So I just throw off Recover to get my HP back. Go Togekiss as the year turns out. He goes Kingdra here, but I have very good, solid Kingdra answers. And Suicune plus Celebi, like I'm good. He just throw off a pump and does a good chunk, but I'm fine. Like, then I dodge a pump, and I think I freeze him. Yeah. So, I mean, that's amazing. Obviously, very big deal. I dodged a pump into a freeze. Fun fact, he immediately thaws, though. Not this turn, but, like, later. He immediately thaws. So it doesn't actually matter, right? Like, logistically, it doesn't actually matter. But I doubled his Celebi because it covers, like, literally every switch. Except Tornadoes. And you're not going Tornadoes on Suicune because it doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. And I didn't want him to thaw. So. And Celebi was the best in case he thawed. But Celebi's putting on pressure into his Clef Keys right now. But Sand Slash is a 100% switch in. I can just spin every time. And getting this rapid spin damage into Tornadoes is very nice. Every bit of damage matters into the Tornadoes. But his range like Psychic from Celebi, Stone Edge from Flygon, and like a crit does 20. The Confusion actually does suck, though, because like if I hit myself, I'm just chipping myself down. And I go for rocks. So I do hit myself. So I don't get my leftovers turn. I would be at like, what, I wouldn't take 5 and I get 6, so that's 11 different. I would be at 93 right now, but who cares, I guess. It's not that big of a deal. Or no. No, I should be 87. Because I just wouldn't have taken 5. Anyway. But yeah. I'll get my rocks up, which does suck, because rocks are pretty decent here. But I go Suicune because Seismitoad, it doesn't really allow a double. He has no double. That's a problem. And I'm just comfortably dealing with Politoed. I do know this has Whip because I played this team before. So I just switch into Celebi. Once again, this Seismitoad cannot knock me out at 75%. So I just recover again. I just try to force the Life Orb damage into Seismitoad. Really is what I'm trying to outplay. Because, I mean, it's a problem. It's a problem. I go Suicune here because I don't want him to predict Celebi here, as he does, because, you know, I just got my turn right. And then he has Whip, so, but I also didn't want him to Ice Punch into Celebi predicting Celebi, so then I go Registeel because it would cover Whip and Ice Punch. The dodge Whip, a little extra turn to lefties too. Here I go with the Celebi because I'm pretty certain he's not going to Ice Punch. And, you know, Rain's now gone, and I have Celebi back in. I start off a Psychic because I expected Torn. Probably should just click Recover because it's just free. But yeah, again, Torn is taking chip. It's now at 53. And so far it's not done much. Gets in Politoed because the thing with Seismitoad, it doesn't really put on pressure without rain. It does need the rain to put on pressure. But yeah, he doubles, predicting Celebi, good play. Or just predicting a switch. I don't know if he necessarily expected Celebi, but I mean. U-turns again, because it's Celebi. And here actually I have to outplay the Seismitoad every turn. Because it's a problem now. Like, it's actually a serious problem now. Because Celebi's sitting at 69, so I can't come in. I go Togekiss because I live every hit. Here I don't necessarily have to get the turn right, and if he quakes, then I'm good. But I just essentially live every hit with Togekiss. Here I go Suicune because I'm pretty certain he's not gonna whip here, which is the only reason that'd be bad. He's not gonna whip or quake, which is the thing that do the most damage. Suicune takes it. I think I just go back to Togekiss because it covers quake and whip. And Togekiss is not very useful here. Like, I don't have to have Togekiss here to win. So I'm more willing to throw away Togekiss than anything. Suicune I just double back to because, again, pretty certain he's just gonna click Liquidation or Ice Punch. Just continuously getting this Life Orb chip that I want. Here he goes Croak as I go back. I go Celebi here because the only thing he can kill me with is Ice Punch. And I don't think it kills me. I think it's like 60-ish. But it doesn't kill. So yeah, this obviously sucks for Toxicroak because now I have free Psychic, which again, Psychic is extremely spammable. This does not have leftovers. I just go Sand Slash every single time because I'm not gonna let this set up spikes on me because that's like really the only way I can like have a serious problem. But I get Spike Up, which is amazing for the Seismitoad because instead of having 4 more hits, it has 2. Because that was a problem. I start off a spin to get the kill. Seismitoad comes in. I just sack off Suicune because at this point, I mean, it's just like I don't need it. Seriously, I just don't need it. I go Celebi. Celebi lives every hit. Yeah, see, to 60, like I said. And I can start for Recover back. Now I'm healthy again, and I still comfortably deal with Torn. I just go Reggie every time, as he's U-turning every time. He's getting the plays right, kinda. Like, obviously, U-turning to Celebi's easy, but like U-turning on like other mons is quick U-turn. Anyway, I have a comfortable with Toxicroak answer. It is Ice Punch, just 32, but at this point I get a leftovers turn. I still live +2. It's not a concern. I knock because I know it's Sugar Berry, because I, you know, tested against this team, so I know it's Sugar Berry. So knocking off its Sugar Berry, you know, be good, because Quake doesn't kill anyway. Knock off its Boots, and like here, this is what I'm saying. Like, you turn into Sand Slash, I can stay in, and if I like stay in and knock, then I probably just win the game right there. But but I mean, I'm never gonna do that. So he just gets the calls right. But I still have 100% Sand Slash switch. I mean, you can Ice Punch, you can Drain Punch, you can do whatever. It's fine. I just knock again because again, I know this is Sugar Berry, so I can't. I mean, I can Quake, but it's not gonna kill anyway. So I can just knock into Quake and do cover Torn. Which he does go Torn. He doubles here into Kingdra. And see, he insta thaws. So like, can you really blame me then? He insta thawed. But I go Celebi. It still does a lot with Surf, but like I know I can just recover the damage off, and he can't even kill me with a crit after a couple recovers. So I just kind of recover infinitely. I Psychic there because I can guarantee damage. And then I can just recover here on Politoed. He encores me, but that just doesn't really matter. I get in Registeel. Sand Slash still lives +2. And do I knock or do I Quake? I just Quake this time because I mean I can break the Sugarberry at this point, it doesn't matter. I still have Flygon, 100%. It's not gaming at all. He actually does crit me, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't kill. And then at this point, I just win the game. So yeah, Celebi worked overtime this game to win, which was great. It was fun game. Close, even though I got. I mean, I didn't really get too lucky. I dodged a pump, which actually ended up being very big because I had to pivot for Seismitoad. And the freeze ultimately didn't really matter. Here, I tried to build a team for this week. I tried to build a Life Orb Celebi because he didn't have Bronzong. This was actually like a scout. He didn't really have Bronzong usage, so I wanted to use a Life Orb Celebi. But the team I built was bad, and then they couldn't really fix it, so we did not use Life Orb Celebi. That's really it. Yeah. Team, though, is just standard Zerk. Celebi is just nasty plot again. I think with Earth Power? I don't actually remember. This was an Oyster team, I think. I'm not certain, but Crobat's just standard Crobat. I think this one is T-Fog. I actually don't know. I don't know. Standard Reggie. I think this is Mixed Shark. Actually, I know this is Mixed Shark. And Flygon is probably Scarf, but I mean, I don't actually know. But yeah, I just leave Flygon into Gardevoir. Flygon leads perfectly fine. It's just, when I have Scarf Flygon, or not Scarf, I would not switch if it was Scarf. So yeah, I mean, I'm just not Scarf Flygon. As he goes for fucking Focus Blast immediately, and a real Spec, that's like, well shit, that's bad. See, he throws off a Specs Focus Blast immediately, so that's not good. I thought about staying in, but I mean, I have no reason to. You have better focus. Oh, I get a U-turn off. It's free. It's locked in a Focus Blast. Yeah, I just off a Quake here. He had four. He literally had 4 switch-ins. But I was like, don't let him overpredict. Because like the thing is, if I U-turn, I have no knock switch. I do not have a switch into this Pokemon if I U-turn on it. So I just clicked Earthquake as I reveal Life Orb. So I'm Life Orb Flygon. So yeah, that's amazing to get rid of, because then it's somewhere where I had no knocks off switching. Specs Gardevoir comes in. I think I am Life Orb U-turn as I reveal it, and I think I just go Crobat because that covered everything except Psychic. I U-turn, but I mean I now have Registeel, and actually it's probably better for me than a U-turn because now I can just throw off rocks, which are free. Here I just throw off a Toxic because I know he's gonna rocks to get some initiative back as I switch, theoretically. Here I just go Celebi because it's completely free as this is an Oyster team. It's just real Nog, which sucks, but I mean I can just recover it off and it's still not actually a problem. And I don't necessarily need this Mon at 100%. Oh yeah, I'm sitting at 2-2 at this point, right? Yeah, 2-2. So I've lost one at this point. So we're trying to get back to, you know, breaking out of that streak. He goes Gross. Gross is the problem. I have no mash switching as I dodge there, which doesn't. I mean, it matters, but he just kills me a Quake after. Maybe I could have switched. I didn't know though. Like if it's banded, maybe he stays in. I just off a safe Quake. This sucked because I was between. I didn't know its item. I just knew it wasn't rocks. So I figured I didn't know what the item was. It was either Sugarberry or I thought Assault Vest. Or technically Scarf is an option as well. Yeah, I guess Scarf was an option, but I just figured Harrow was Scarf at this point. But I didn't know his item, and I figured it was a lot more like, well maybe not a lot, but I figured since, like, Sugarberry rocks is what they run in Sun Moon, right? You don't really see Sugarberry no rocks because there's no reason for it to be. You don't need to live these hits really, unless you're like agility. Like agility grass probably still runs Shuka, but like, you know, the idea is you have Sugar Berry to live everything, and you can get your rocks up, or you can mash. Like you have the decision to make. You don't really see Shuka no rocks unless it's like agility grass. I mean, this could be agility grass, but I figured there were definitely decent odds that this was just Assault Vest. That's not necessarily the most popular set, but it's definitely more. Maybe not definitely, but it's probably more common than Shuka no rocks. So at this point, and like I think it was my Shark could win like very easily. I'm Dark Pulse, Hydro Pump, close combat. So like at this point, Guardy's in range. Crobat just needs a little bit of chip. Metagross is in range if it's not Assault Vest. Seismitoad needs a little bit more chip, and then Heracross I think needs a rock switch in or two. So like, I'm close to a Sharpedo in game, but if I go Shark and Dark Pulse and it's, you know, Assault Vest, or I guess technically Cobra Berry. I didn't really think of Cobra Berry, but I was thinking Assault Vest. And I lose Shark, I probably just lose the game. But yeah, if it was to be Sugar Berry, it just mashes me, and I lose my Flygon. So yeah, and this means it's not even agility. So I mean, it's just like, well, shit. I have nothing else to go here. That like, cause Shark just guarantee got a kill at this point. Like Zerk, I'd have to get the. I sat here for literally 2 minutes trying to figure out what Pokemon to go, and I just opted to go Shark. I didn't want to go Xurkitree because at 100% HP, I can still live a Heracross hit. I can still live a close combat, and I can knock it out back. So, I figured that it'd probably be best just to do that. Go Shark, who maybe doesn't need 100% HP. I can take the 25% from Bullet Punch, like the 20-25%, and be okay with it. But he switches out, sacks his Gardevoir to Dark Pulse, which is fine. He goes Crobat. Crobat lives 100%, as I know he's going to U-turn, because, you know, why the fuck would he not? As he goes Scarf Heracross, and here I have to get play right. As I go hard Celebi on Stone Edge. As he does click Stone Edge, and I actually dodge, which is actually really nice, because that means I don't have to recover. And I could actually throw off an attack instead. And I go throw Pollen Puff, because it 2 Akira's Metagross. Crobat comes back in, it can U-turn. As he goes Heracross. Here, I make a dreadfully wrong play. I sack my Crobat, which I definitely needed to have to prevent the close combat endgame, but I figured with Celebi and Xurkitree living, like I figured the odds of him getting a close combat boost was pretty low. So I figured I didn't need Crobat. I didn't want to sack Xurkitree because Xurkitree beat these two and actually still lived a Heracross hit. So I figured I could force a situation where I got 2 kills with Xurkitree. And then I could just win the game. I still needed Shark because Shark can still outspeed this at +2, but I can, like, if I just get it on like Seismitoad, Dark Pulse, get the kill, you know, suddenly I'm faster. Or at +1. No, because, yeah. So, obviously, Xurkitree lives. I think I just Thunderbolt. No, I D-Gleam. Just because, like, if he opted to stay in, Thunderbolt was actually, like, a damage roll. Or didn't kill it. I think it does, like, 65. Men. So, I just Gleam. It's safe. And it, like, covers everything anyway. Here, it's actually, like, this is actually a pretty big turn. Unfortunately, my timer was low. It's down to 25 seconds. But if I Energy Ball, he cannot kill me with Heracross, so he has to go Crobat, Brave Bird, and then he can just try to close combat in game. But that may not work, because A, Celebi might live at 43. Or I guess he can Mega Horn in game. He can Mega Horn in game. But if Shark is not, like, if it's plus speed Shark, then I probably win. Actually, no, I just do win if it's plus speed Shark at that point. So that's not necessarily the safest way. If I Thunderbolted here, I won. But I unfortunately do click Grass Knot. I figured it was just a sack he was trying to do. I figured the Mega Horn in game is what he was trying to go for. But I was wrong. And here, I knew he was U-turning, but I mean, I had no other play. I knew I couldn't take this U-turn, but I literally had no other option. I can't go Celebi on the U-turn. If I go Shark on the U-turn, I live, but I just don't get anything. And it's like, at this point, I know I cannot let in Heracross, so I can't actually stay in here. I just go Celebi, because again, I know I can't let in the Heracross. He goes hard Heracross here, which is also another 50-50, because if I Psychic there, then I think I win. Actually, I know I win if I Psychic here. Because then Circuitry end games, or Shark end games, either one. But unfortunately, I don't get that play right. I have to sack this to Mega Horn. Shark comes in, just, you know, doesn't do enough. I had to flinch. I don't get the flinch, and Heracross wins. So sitting at 2-3 now. This game came down to, I mean, most of this came down to the 50-50s at the end. The Circuitry 50-50 and the Celebi on Toad 50-50. If I got either one of those right, I think I won, just guaranteed. But my timer was low, didn't really have time to think about it. And the reason the timer was low is because me, like, the reason the timer was low is because I took too long. Where are my sprites? But, yeah, next game. This is a Mace team. It's Musto Band Golurk with Substitute. Celebi is, I don't remember. PT is P2. It's just Teleport. Flygon, I think it's just Scarf. Crobat's just Crobat. Registeel, just Registeel. I bring a lot of the same shit. We used Celebi like 4 weeks in a row, by the way. And like, we've been spamming Crobat and spamming Registeel. Like, we've been kind of using the same mons, but it's fine. We've been like we've used Flygon like also like 4 times, but they've been like different sets every time. Like, one was no item, one was Life 4 offensive, one was Scarf, like. So yeah, I lead Crobat because it doesn't lead poorly into Serena, doesn't lead poorly into Guzzlord, forces a Psychic from Gardevoir, doesn't really lead poorly into much, and I figured Flygon was like a safe lead on his part. But Celebi, the problem with the Celebi, problem with Jellicent is I didn't know whether it was Hex, so I have to play around it a little bit. Him switching probably means it's not Hex, but he could also just be scared of, like, Leaf Storm, which is a very real concern. I do have Thunder Wave on this one, though, so I can actually punish Bronzong. I just D-Waved because I can just get my rocks up after. And, like, the Rocks chip is good because stuff like Guzzlord needs chip for me to kill. My Golurk isn't close combat, it's Stone Edge. But, like, my Golurk is great here. It's just, you know. Oh, here I expect a Trick. So I go hard Flygon on Trick as he goes for Encore. So, I mean, that's definitely worked out for me. He stays in, so I just go back to Registeel because that probably just means he's, like, Boots or some shit. As, you know, clicks Moonblast. Here I just attack. Go off a Heavy Slam because, I mean, I don't really have another play. He gets Chip off. I think he just gets that Chip for... I don't actually know. I guess to focus on, like, Serena Guzzlord being better. I'm not really Flygon weak. I have Celebi, Crobat, Porygon. My own Flygon. Like, I have a lot for Flygon. I go Flygon because the only thing you can kill me with is, like, Outrage. And, you know, you're not clicking Outrage there. And if you do, then I just go P2 and kill you after. Or I guess I can go... No, I just go P2 and kill you after. Stays in. I'm okay with that. I just go Crobat as he DDs. Which is fine. I have Porygon. I have Celebi. Like, and I still have my own Scarf Flygon which speed dies. So, like, I'm very fine. My Flygon's not a Dragon move, though. So, I mean, it is a genuine concern if, like, Porygon is chipped. But... I go Crobat on Bronzong because, I mean, I actually don't know. I could have gone Golurk, but obviously, I think I just covered a double. It was safe. I think I didn't want a Toxic thrown off, but I could have gone Celebi. I don't know. I think this is just cover doubles. I go Flygon on knock. Knocks off my scarf, but at this point my scarf is really unimportant, and it's probably just simply better to not have a scarf. And I'm Roost, and I have no other knock switch. So yeah, I am Roost on this one. Again, no Dragon move. I'm Earthquake, Stone Edge, U-turn. So yeah, this is a good situation for me because I think I just Quake. Because like if he goes Bronzong, it's fine. I just U-turn now. And go Reggie, because again, I don't want my Golurk is very good. Like if Serena's down, it beats the combination of these with Chip. Like this needs Chip, but it outpaces, lives, but I can't touch it unless it's Lum. So I guess fair enough. But yeah, I just go Registeel, and it reveals Psychic. I didn't really know what to say. I just was okay with that. Goes for Body Press. I'm just getting my Chip off because Chip into this means Celebi's better. Chip into this means Flygon's more threatening. Chip into this means Crobat's more threatening. I go Golurk here because it's I don't want to allow him to Body Press again. I just draw a Poltergeist. Does 24. Does not do much, but I don't have close combat, so I have to switch. What this does mean next time I'm able to Poltergeist and Earthquake kill. Goes for Toxic. I go Porygon because I was scared of Dragon Tail. I go Porygon because I was scared of Dragon Tail. But I just go Flygon, click Quake. I'm just clicking Quake. I get 31% and I dodge a Toxic, which is actually a really big deal because it's not that this Flygon's a problem, but like, you know, you want guaranteed Chip where you can get it. So, you know, it just sucks. I just Quake every time. Actually, no, I U-turn here because I'm better. There's no way you're just going to keep letting your Guzzlord take that. And given that he's not going as like he's trying to keep his Guzzlord healthy and like didn't go Flygon on Poltergeist, probably just means he's not no item and he's probably just Lum on Flygon. Or he's Life Orb, either one. Or I guess no, it can't be leftovers. So yeah. I go Golurk, the Poltergeist is completely free. He goes Serena. I don't kill. Anyway, shit done. I just go Crobat because you can only knock or triple axle me. He does triple axle me, but it will not kill. Unless he gets 3 hits. And he gets 3 hits. So yeah, I just didn't think about triple axle. I just thought about knock. I just thought he was going to spin. So I get triple axle there immediately, and it's like, well, shit. But that means Fly can come in and just U-turn. No matter what happens here, like, you can't switch. The only switches that U-turn are Flygon, Jellicent, Bronzong. Bronzong and Jellicent get me a Poltergeist kill. And Flygon means I U-turn and get in like Celebi or Porygon or anything. Well, I mean, not really anything. Probably just getting Celebi or Porygon. I get Reggie just to get my leftovers turn, and it like doesn't let in this. It doesn't let in. Yeah, just Bronzong. I don't know. It kind of didn't matter because like the only thing it let in offensively was Flygon, and I have very good Flygon answers at this point, so I was fine. I was still worried about Hex at this point. So yeah, which he does actually reveal, which is good to know because I was told later on, not in this week, but like later, that Jellicent's already run Hex, so I'm good and scouted for it. Problem is, this shit also has Taunt, so it's like, well, shit. This one's really annoying. It's not gonna beat me or anything. Like I always have Poltergeist, but like, damn, is it annoying. So start off Heavy Slams, play this interaction for a while. The problem is he's not really netting much, and like I'm not netting much either. But the fact that he gave me that means I get in Poltergeister, and I just Poltergeist. He gets in Guzzlord. He thinks I'm just Choice Banded, or just Choice period. So, you know, He thinks he can live. I know he dies to Earthquake, and at this point, there's no way he can win. Unless Flygon is actually just no item. But, I mean, there's no way it is that at this point. And it actually has to be soft sand. So, yeah. I mean, I just keep that mon around, so I have a guaranteed 100% answer to Bronzong. I just spam Psychic, and because we Speed Tie, and I just Nasty Plot, Pollen Puff, blah blah blah, and I win. So now we're back to 3-3. This is the final week versus Sasha. Now, I'm trying to go positive. We are locked for playoffs at this point. We are undefeated actually at this point. We have not lost a game. We have tied a couple, but that's it. We have not lost at this point. Or no, we lost last week, but that's because we threw last week. Because we were like confirmed for playoffs at that point. So we put in our backups. We put in SBPC, Acid, and what was the last? It was bless me. SBPC, Acid, and Diane Razzit. So yeah, we put them in, and they all three lost. But I mean, that's okay. We didn't need to win that, and it was versus the number one team, or the team that ended up getting number one after we lost. But yeah, this week doesn't too much matter. It's versus like the worst team also, so we're definitely favored. We put in our starters again though, because we wanted to keep like the old gens fine-tuned, and you know we had a lot of good records, so we wanted to keep them. I wanted to go 500 on the regular season, and obviously I didn't want to lose because that means if I lost, then I would literally have to win semis if I wanted to keep a 500 or above record in this team tournament. So we're playing Sasha. I don't remember the record, but my team is I think it's just another Sugar Croak, Vileplume's Vileplume, Bronzong's Rocks 3 attacks. It's like Heavy Slam, Psychic, Earthquake, Togekiss. It's not Flame. I think it's Nasty Plot, Thunder Wave. That's it. I think it's just Nasty Plot, Thunder Wave. Flygon. I don't know. Is it just Scarf? I don't know. Incineroar is this one's Spadef or is it SD? I think it's just bulky. I don't know what that means. Sorry, I don't know. That looks offensive, kinda. As U-turn here, I have U-turn. So get that out. The problem is I don't necessarily have the most offensive like momentum, but Togekiss is broken, and like Licks can't. It can come in, but if I have Flame, then it kind of can't because Flame does like a lot, like 35-ish. That's a good amount of damage. I just want to chip the Steelix more, so I throw off another Air Slash. And it covered a double. And so this essentially forces him to stay in. Just gives me a little bit of extra chip. I get my own rocker. I just get my rocks up. Shark comes in. I know I live everything. I just body press. Oh, I am body press. I'm not Earthquake. So yeah, I'm body press. So that means, which actually sucks. Now that I think about it, did that defense drop mean I didn't kill? Is that how that works? It definitely is. Damn, I didn't even realize that like until now. That defense drop is the reason I didn't kill with body press. That's actually kind of lame. Did I just stack Bronzong? Or okay, I just go Incineroar because he's gonna crunch every time, and I can just go back to Bronzong, sack it now, but now it dies to Life Orb, so I'm okay with that. Incineroar, no, Incineroar was very fast. No, this was a max speed, max attack Incineroar. I remember. So yeah, he brings in Heracross. I just would go Incineroar because it gives me an Intimidate into his offensive threats, and like otherwise, I'm not too worried. Wait. Oh, he had a jetpack. He had a jetpack. I was very confused, but yeah, he had a jetpack. And so he's forced into Noivern, which is actually awful for him because he really needed to have his Heracross in there. That's the mod he wanted in. That's the situation he wanted. And then he gets eject-packed out. So, yeah. He's forced into Togekiss. I just switch. I mean, I just go for Slash to keep forcing damage into Steelix, because, I mean, he's always playing Steelix. Heavy Slam into Plume. Am I Helmet? I am Helmet. So I am progressively getting more damage into this Steelix. Crit Earthquake doesn't too much matter. I wall, so I can just Sludge Bomb. Or Chip. I just Strength Sap. I don't really know why, I could've just Sludged. But, Unicornus reveals to be a regen, which is good, because I get a Poison too. Which makes Togekiss, progressively better. Obviously, still, Steelix is healthy enough, but, here, I go Toxicroak because it's my only mon to, like, really go here. And it's just, like, Toxicroak I don't need. Toxicroak's not doing anything at this point. There's a Reuniclus, Noivern, Faster Heracross, Mimikyu, like, this is too much for it. Flygon U-turn into Togekiss. It only lets in Steelix, but Steelix isn't really a problem at this point. I go Incineroar because I know he's going to Heavy Slam. This gives me, like, an offensive knock. Like, I get a free knock here. Or Blitz. I blitzed. Because it was better if he stayed in, I guess. Yeah, I like a knock. I don't know. I feel like knock was fine. But Blitz was ultimately better if he stayed in. So. But he's never going to stay in, though. But yeah, Togekiss is looking very good because this shit's poisoned. Steelix is getting pretty low. And again, Steelix is consistently taking this little bit of chip. A Rocks plus Air Slash, I'm netting a little bit. Not much, but I am netting a little bit. But it's just enough to, like, be annoying. Not necessarily enough to be threatening, but enough to be annoying. He has to attack me and, like, get the call right. And this is actually amazing for me. I think he predicted Togekiss, but I go Incineroar, which is amazing for me, because now I get a knock, or a U-turn, but I think I just knock. Actually, I know I just knock, because it's free and everything. As he sacks off Reuniclus, gets in his Noivern, I just go Togekiss, because I have no reason not to. I think I just keep throwing off Air Slashes. I missed this one, actually sucks, because every bit of, like, damage I needed, or I had gotten before, is kind of just net 0. Also, I've missed 2 Air Slashes now out of 9, so it's like, what the fuck? 95% accurate, who? But I Quake. I get this play right. And I just get the Quake damage, which, again, makes Togekiss really good now, because now the Steelix is actually getting low, and, like, if I flinch it twice, it's actually over for it. He can't go Horse Steelix at this point. Especially this turn, he can't. A Nasty Plot, 1 flinch here, ends it. I don't get the flinch, of course, because, you know, why would I? Kept missing Air Slashes. Kept not getting the flinches. I mean, I got multiple flinches with Air Slash. But, Mimikyu comes in, and, like, 13, 7, 3. The combination of these 3 mons are at a combined 23%. And then Vileplume does beat this, but Flygon does live rocks. Flygon, I know it lives rocks, but the problem is Sasha doesn't know that Flygon lives rocks because it's 7-7, and then Pokemon sucks, so he doesn't actually know that I live rocks, which is amazing because I just T-Wave and I fucking miss. So yeah, that's really bad. So now it's like, well, shit. If it's Life Orb Shadow Claw, I just lost. And this is after not flinching licks. This was after missing multiple Air Slashes. This is now I miss a Thunder Wave. And it's like, well, come on, bro. And like the reason Air, I don't need to break a sub. I need to slow it down. So then I can get Paraturns, like with Vileplume specifically. Like the way Vileplume can beat Mimikyu, especially if it's like paralyzed, and it's like I definitely can. But yeah, maybe Air Slash was the play, but breaking its disguise, that doesn't matter. That's not what I need to do. But I just Strength Sap. I have to get stuff right. I have to get turns right. And I get a para here, which is game saving if I get a para on any turn. I have to go Incineroar though because Flygon has Outrage. Or no, it doesn't. It actually has Stone Edge. It doesn't have Outrage. I have Stone Edge. So yeah, I get the Paralyzed, which is the only thing I actually could have gotten that actually saved my situation here, was Paralysis, and then I get a full para here. I had 2 chances to full para, So it's not like the odds of getting a full para are low. I actually had 3 chances. I had para turn here, here, and then on Flygon there'd be a para turn. But yeah. I get the para. He roosts. I think I don't know, I just spam knock, because I mean, there's nothing he can do at this point. And he forfeits it for a Flygon. Which is, funny, because I don't have Outrage. I do not have Outrage. And this was the clutch of the week, I believe. This clutch, I don't think it was the last game, but it made Oathkeep. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. It let Oathkeep play and not have any pressure under him. But yeah, we won the week with this, and we won the 1 seed because Finnegan's lost. So yeah, that's that. I did not have Outrage, so I had to risk a Stone Edge here. So now we're into semis. Versus Fiend. We lost to Fiend the first time, so that's not good. This team is... Damn, I just played this like not even a month. It's literally 2 weeks ago. I played this 2 weeks ago. I would not remember the team. I know it's SD Chopo Beware. Sigalith is 3 attacks, I believe. Gross is just rocks? No, Gross isn't rocks. Is it? What is it? It's not Demon Gross. Is it Scarf? Is it Scarf? It might be Scarf. No, I don't think it's Scarf either. What am I? I don't know what Metagross is. Nidoqueen is rocks. Golisopod is Golisopod, which we have not loaded like any of this tournament. I think we loaded like 1. And then Aerodactyl is Ice Fang, 3 attacks, Life Orb. So on preview, it's kind of like the matchups. He's obviously bringing HO. It's this is a known team, but I didn't know that. Apparently, it's like a Bluebird team or someone. I forgot. I think they said Bluebird though. It's Sash, Frostlass, obviously. DD Protect Flygon, which I didn't know. Raikou is Life Orb, Calm Mind. Didn't know that, obviously. Talonflame is no item Acrobatics. Definitely didn't know that. Aerodactyl's Life Orb, Dragon Dance, and then Shark. It's Shark's not just Shark. It's actually physical. It's just purely physical with Psychic Fangs. So yeah, but I had no idea what this team was. And obviously, I just assumed, like DD, Arrows, whatever. Protect, I didn't know that, though. I didn't know it was Life Orb Raikou. I didn't know it was, No Boots Talonflame, and I didn't know Shark. So, like, these 4 Mons were going to be the problems, because these are the sets I didn't know, and that could catch me off guard. But yeah. Oyster knew this was a Bluebird team. Or, maybe not Bluebird, but Oyster knew this team, and I didn't. So I lead Metagross onto Flygon, which is obviously not a good lead. I just expected Frostlass, like, you know, because obviously I would expect Frostlass. But I have Golisopod. I can just first impression get the chip off, and it puts it in Bullet Punch Metagross, Aqua Jet from this. Like, I'd be fine. I'm not gonna lose this either because I have Beware. I need chip for Beware, and then it reveals Protect, and I'm like, well, that's really bad. Because it is really bad. I get Jet Chip because I need to be able to kill with Beware after. He goes for Stone Edge. So yeah, I go Nidoqueen because I'm also shook on Nidoqueen. I didn't want to go Beware because I figured Beware would be useful for just being good, but mostly for Shark and Aerodactyl it could be good for. And did a lot of damage. So yeah, Real's leftovers too. I'm Shugo though. I have Ice Beam. I kill it. But it forced Nidoqueen to sit at 33, which is great for Aerodactyl, good for Raikou. And it forced Golisopod to take 68%, which is obviously amazing for an offense. It's just always going to be good for offense. He goes Frostlass to get his spikes up, I assume. Which, as he does, I go for Earth Power. At this point, I broke it, so I don't need to. I don't need to kill it, so I don't have to Earth Power. Guess it hits triple axe, but only hits one, which is amazing because now I get my rocks up, and that's really bad for him. Because obviously, I told you the sets. I didn't know this at the time, but I didn't know how valuable rocks would be. But knowing his team now, it's very bad for Fiend. Obviously, it sucks getting one hit, but it's triple axle anyway. You were lucky to get even hit one. Nah, I'm lying. But like it's triple axle for a reason. The move sucks, and especially on Frostlass. I don't really get why you would be triple axle Frostlass. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. I just don't know it. There'd be Icy Wind or not Freeze Dry or something. Like kills me after. But at this point, my rocks are up, and that's amazing for me. I go Aerodactyl because obviously I outspeed, and I can just Quake to get the kill. But he does. No, he does not get it. Raikou comes in. I'm not Life Orb. I'm Boots, I guess. So I don't kill Raikou, and I have to have this Pokemon for Talonflame. Because Talonflame beats these, obviously, and I have Jet, but that's it. Like, I just have Jet. So Talonflame's a problem, and I'm pretty certain I have to have Aerodactyl for this Raikou. So now I have to figure out what to sack. The problem is, if I go Sigilyph on Calm Mind Raikou, like sub-CM, because I assumed it was sub-CM Calm Mind Scald, like, I assumed that was the set, and it can sub Calm Mind on Sigilyph, and I could just lose on the spot. I wouldn't lose on the spot, because I would just Jet, or First Impression, I guess just First Impression, into Earthquake, but, and Metagross lives, but, that's the problem, is, like, I would have to sack Pokemon, and I have to chip it down, etc., etc. But I literally don't have another play. Beware, I have to have at this point, because otherwise I lose to Shark automatically. I'm assuming it's Mixed Shark at this point, and Pump could kill Beware. I think it's a damage roll. But yeah, I have to, like, otherwise my entire team loses to Shark. So I have to have Beware for Shark. I don't have to have Metagross, but Bullet Punch is a 100% like answer to Aerodactyl. So obviously I do need that. I have to have that. Golisopod, I think I need, because I have to have Aerodactyl for Talonflame. So at that point, Golisopod is theoretically the sack. But then the problem becomes, I don't have, like, Jet's just good into these two as well. So yeah, Jet's good into these two. But I have to go Sigilyph. I died to Thunderbolt, thankfully, and he reveals Life Orb, which is amazing for me, because now I know it's Life Orb. But Aerodactyl is a damage roll to kill. It's like a 75 min, and he's at 78. So I could risk the roll, but I don't have to. Because at this point, I'm like, I don't have to have problem is, if I go Golisopod, and he just attacks with Thunderbolt, that's really bad. Because, I don't have anything to go after, other than, like, Metagross. Which doesn't, I mean, I guess it does kill. Does it kill? I don't know. I don't know if Metagross calcs, I guess. But I don't want to do that, because then Metagross would have to take a, Thunderbolt, and then Aerodactyl can win, theoretically, because I don't one-shot with Bullet Punch, and then I have to win the speed tie. So essentially, I don't want to take that Thunderbolt at all, because then I'm in range of Earthquake, and then, etc., etc. But now I know it's sent, so now I go Golisopod instead of risking the Aerodactyl roll, because I'm certain I have to have Aerodactyl at this point, because Talonflame's going to come in Boots, and I have no other way to beat it. Now that I know it's not Boots, I could just keep Golisopod and Jet it, but I didn't know that at the time, so obviously I'd go for First Impression, or go for Aqua Jet. Now I do go for First Impression, because I could just Jet after. I mean, it does the most damage, why wouldn't I? He goes Shark. This kills me with Psychic Fangs. But now that you reveal Psychic Fangs, I'm like, oh, well, that's a lot less threatening. Because now I can just go Beware and click a fighting move to, kill. Or Double Edge. No, Drain Punch. Okay. I thought that this was a 50-50 Did I think this was a 50-50? No, I think he took the route that like 100% lost. Because they were down in the series 2-4 at this point. So if I won this, we won the week. Like they were down. They had to win this at this point. I thought this was 50-50 also though, because I thought if he Psychic Fangs, yeah, no, wait, what did I think? I think Hard Aerodactyl was the play. Hold on, I thought this was not necessarily a 50-50, but I didn't know the route he would take. But I think he took the 100% route where he lost. Because I just sack Aerodactyl at this point. I don't have to have it. It's gonna die. And he clicked extra sensory. No. I think no. I think there I thought it was 50-50. No, wait, what did I think? Oh, no. I think I just thought a 50-50 was going to come up. I think is what I thought. Anyway, he extra sensories. I think he should have just Thunderbolted because then he got the damage into Beware anyway for Psychic Fangs, so I don't really get why you would ever extra sensory. I thought then after this I could just stay in, Earthquake, then Beware lives Psychic Fangs comfortably, just Drain Punch, and this cannot set up on Drain Punch, and I win. And we win. We win semis. So we're on the finals. I think the mistake he made was here, I think, because what did I think he would do? I think Hard Aerodactyl was the play, or did I think stay in Psychic Fangs was the play? No, because that doesn't make any sense. Or did I think here the 50-50 was happening? But no, that doesn't make sense. There is no 50-50. He just Thunderbolts every time, theoretically. I think here I thought it was a 50-50. I don't remember. Yeah, we win. I think Fiend messed up his in-game. And I think I think his team was cool. And I think HO isn't necessarily the worst call. Like, protect Flygon and shit like this. I don't think this is necessarily the worst call. But it just really didn't work. The triple axle really messed him up. But I mean, it's triple axle. Then we get into finals versus Hank Cell. We are on a 3-game win streak at this point. We went from 2-3 to 5-3. And we secured last week for our team. So yeah, this match happened 9 days ago. Yeah, playing Hank Cell in a rematch that we won the first time. So my team, it is 3-3 at this point. We have me, and we have, wait, no. Or was it 2-4? It was 2-4 at this point. We started the week down. Or no. That's not right. That's not right. I was an early match. So how this one went is on Friday we had 1 game. And then I think on Saturday we had 2 games. So going into Sunday, we wanted to be up, or at worst, we wanted to be 1-2. We had Queen of Bean playing first, and she lost. And then I played second. And so, we really need damn. We really didn't need, oh my fucking god. We really didn't need me to lose this, because then at best we go into Sunday 1-2, because Zos played after me sometime on Saturday. I don't remember when. I think he played Saturday night. I played Sunday afternoon. So yeah, I really needed to win this because we were trying to go into Sunday up 2-1, and we really didn't want to go into Sunday down 0-3 if Zos happened to lose. And I'll just go ahead and spoil it. Zos did lose. So if I lose this, we go into Sunday down 0-3. And if I win, we go into Sunday down 1-2. Coming down 3 games is way different than coming down 1 game. When you have theoretically 3 of our better players, more consistent players. Zos at this point I think was 5-0 and had not lost a game. And we had Queen of Bean, who was number 1 ADV all tournament, and had lost like 1 or 2 games. I don't even know if they had lost an ADV game at this point. So 2 of our best players had already lost, and then me, who was on a hot streak at this point, and This was a match for #1 Sword Shield. The winner of this got #1 Sword Shield because we were both sitting at 5 and 3. So again, winner of this was #1 Sword Shield. Um. So yeah. Um. So we really didn't need to go down into Sunday 03. Because, I mean, you don't want to say, hey, it's over, but 03 is really bad. So yeah, I really need to win this. The matchup I think is fine. Bandit Pangoro isn't the worst thing to deal with. Assuming it's Bandit Pangoro. It could be Life Orb, but I have not seen any Life Orb Pangoro at this point. So, I don't know if Life Orb Pangoro necessarily exists in this tier. I don't feel like any of it. So, perhaps it just doesn't exist. But, and my matchup to Life Orb Pangoro would also be fine. I have Incineroar, which is max speed, Jolly. So I always get faster blitzes. I'm Cobra Berry, Jellicent, so that deals with it. Noivern lives. I'm Fizdev Keys with D-Gleam, and I'm fast. So I outspeed Pangoro. Like, my matchup to Pangoro is not even that bad. And it only comes in on, like, 2 Mons. It actually only comes in on, like, really Jellicent. And at full HP, it comes in on Nidoqueen. Yeah, dude, Pangoro doesn't just, like, come in really at all. But if it does happen again, and it's really problematic, because I don't really have a knock switch, if you notice. Or I don't have a close combat switch. Sorry, I have knock switches. I have Klefki and Incineroar. Primarily Klefki, because I'm bold keys. So, yeah, this team is max speed, Jolly, Incineroar, Blitz, Knock, U-Turn, Swords Dance, or Taunt. It's Taunt. Mimikyu is just, it's just Mimikyu. It's, Mimikyu. Jellicent is Cobra Berry with Scald, Roost, not Roost, Recover, Wisp, and Taunt. Nidoqueen is Nidoqueen. It's Timid Queen on this one. Noivern is Noivern, Draco, Flame, U-Turn, Roost, and Keys is Bold Keys on this with Magnet Rise. So I thought the matchup was fine. Pangoro was going to be annoying if it happened to get in because close combat is extremely spammable versus the team, especially if Noivern happens to get knocked. Or something. Like, I don't know. It's just Noivern doesn't take close combat. It takes like 70, 75 from bandit close combat. Like, it's not a switch in. It can switch in one time. But if I take any chip in Noivern, I don't really have close combat switch in. Raikou is going to be mildly frustrating because... Actually, not even mildly. Raikou's just annoying. Thunderbolt plus Scald is all it needs to be really annoying. Because I don't have, like, Nidoqueen is the only, like, Thunderbolt even resist. So, yeah, and I'm offensive Incineroar, I'm Bold Keys. Like, these are not Thunderbolt switch-ins. And it's not like Keys beats Raikou or anything, but, like, if it's Boots Raikou, then I force a chip with D-Gleam if I'm calm. Or, like, Max Pedef or whatever. Incineroar, same thing. It's kind of forced to switch out, but the problem is these are offensive Mons or they're bold. So, Raikou is really annoying. Flygon's fine. I have Noivern plus Magnet Rise Keys plus Jellicent plus Mimikyu. Like, I'm fine. I'm very fine to that one. Reuniclus is going... I'm going to have to figure out what set it is. But obviously, I have Incineroar. I have, like, Jellicent Pivot. Mimikyu puts on some pressure. Keys can Thunder Wave. Like, it's fine. Bronzong, I'm fine versus. I have Jellicent. That's really it. And then Vileplume, I'm going to be fine versus. Problem is, my Mimikyu's really ass here. It's Drain Punch, Shadow... No, I don't even know if it's Shadow... Is it Shadow Claw? It has to be Shadow Claw. They never run. It's Drain Punch, Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak. So, it was just kind of... I don't even know if it's Shadow Claw. Is it not? They play rough. I don't remember. And I don't think I'm Orb either. Or maybe I'm Orb. I don't remember. Mimikyu's bad here. And the team was kind of not necessarily built around Mimikyu, but we used this team because we wanted to use a Mimikyu. Because I was like, hey, we've not used a Mimikyu all tournament, and this Pokemon is definitely good, so let's just use it. And they were like, okay. So then we used a Mimikyu team. So one thing is if Flygon's not defogged, then my hazards are going to go really far. They're not actually good here. But forcing the damage into Vileplume means Jellicent gets a lot better. Because Jellicent doesn't have a comfortable switch in. Like, on paper, Jellicent's not even good here. Because there's a Raikou, there's a Pangoro. If I'm Hex, then Reuniclus doesn't deal with it. But I'm not Hex. And then Vileplume. But if I get hazards up, he doesn't have switch-ins necessarily, depending on what the Reuniclus set is. Because Reuniclus, if it can't beat Jellicent, then it can't really come in. Raikou doesn't want to come in on Skull, because if it gets burnt, it's really frustrating, whether it's boots or leftovers. Either way, if it's leftovers, it's taking Hazard's chip, and if it's boots, it's taking burn chip. Pangoro definitely can't come in on a Scald, because if it gets burnt, it's useless. So yeah. And then Vileplume can be boots, but that means it's not helmet, which is good for me. Or leftovers. Like, boots is fine. But that's the only thing. If Vileplume isn't boots, then having hazards here is actually pretty good. Spikes are not a big deal if, like, everything is boots. But if Vileplume's not boots, if Raikou's not boots, then spikes and hazards are actually good here. Incineroar is insane here. Flygon's his only switch for knockoff. It's just genuinely the only switch in for knockoff. So yeah, that's just gonna have to be the knock switch for him. Jellicent, already talked about. Nidoqueen isn't great here, but it's certainly not bad. It's Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Earth Powered. So I mean, as a Bronzong, it's not what you want to see. Keys, it's just gonna be useful for coming in on Pangoro. And Noivern is actually amazing here. Because the thing is, Noivern Draco plus Flame is extremely spammable. Like, the only mon that can comfortably come in and take Draco and Flamethrower is Reuniclus, and it takes like 35, but that forces Recover every time because I have Roost. So then that's my Incineroar every time, which you don't want to let in my Incineroar every time, because my Incineroar is very good here. So, and Bronzong can come in on Draco, obviously, and it comfortably comes in on Draco, but Flame's doing like 35%, so that's a good chunk. So knowing all that, I lead Flygon. I lead Noivern as he leads Flygon. Flygons are pretty much always a force to switch out here. I have double Fairy, so I mean, you definitely cannot click Outrage here. And if you're slower, then you definitely can't. So, but I click U-turn, because that's just what you do there. You just click U-turn. Because they always switch out. So him not U-turning means he's not Scarf. Unless he expected Noivern to be Scarf, but that doesn't make any sense. They don't run Scarf in this gen, ever. So yeah. And Incineroar comes in on Bronzong. Again, knock is extremely spammable here. I knock immediately into Flygon as it reveals leftovers. So, immediately I knock off the Flygon item. As he opts to Earthquake, because if I U-turn, then I get extra chip, and then I can go also, like, get Noivern in. I just get a Jellicent safely, though, because Scald is, as I previously mentioned, very solid here. It's not amazing, but it's very solid here, because if I burn this Raikou here, then it's really bad. But I opt to not go for Scald, because I didn't want to not burn. That was the thing, as Raikou coming in was very scary, and if I Scald and don't burn, then it's really annoying. So, I just Wisp to guarantee the burn to Vileplume or Raikou, because they're the only two that can come in. And Scald's useless into both of them, but Burn is not useless into both of them. So Wisp just cover both switches. As Raikou reveals to be Calm Mind, which is a threat, but I go Noivern because I know that I live +1 Thunderbolt, and I can get like 30% off with Draco, and then forces Mon to be relatively low, and it makes it a lot easier to deal with future wise. Because I get a Draco plus U-turn if he does that. Or I could just Root Stump, because because this burn, if I didn't burn, like if I Scald and didn't burn, then he can just stay in. But because I burnt him, I can Draco here, get 30% off, Roost on his Thunderbolts, and he's not doing anything because I resist them then. So because I burnt him, yeah, I do 37 there. And also Volt, because again, Thunderbolt doesn't do anything because I just roosted off, and then I'm living, and you're taking burn chip consistently. But I U-turn on Pangoro, he's gonna close combat because close combat is free at 30%. I know he's going to close combat, but I have no close combat, so it gets scrappy. He also click knockoff. It's not what I expected. I just figured close combat was coming out every time because it's just there's nothing really stopping close combat. I doubled a queen, predicting Vileplume as I get that play right. I forced in Bronzong because I want my rocks up. Just because I just want my rocks up. That's just it. I just want my rocks up. It reveals Reuniclus. It gets chip into Vileplume. Pangoro damage is actually necessary. It's not necessary, but I can put Pangoro in blitz range with this mon. So yeah, I just want to get my rocks up. He does makes a good double into Flygon. I know he's gonna roost here, but I can't make that play, and I really realistically don't have to make that play. I mean, I have Noivern. Reuniclus opts to come in here, which is good for me. He reveals to be Helmet too, which is good to know. I would rather do that when Noivern lives a Helmet hit than doesn't live a Helmet hit. But Knock is very free here. As previously mentioned, the only switch in is Flygon, but I have to just click U-turn because I know Flygon's coming and it's the one switch in for Knock. And I get extra chip off. I go Keys as he opts to defog. That's fine. I just Magnet Rise. I reveal it. He clicks U-turn as I just Spike because Spike doesn't... Like, if I D-Gleam, it doesn't do anything. So I would just rather Spike. As I Paralyze Reuniclus. I do this because it makes Jellicent better versus it. It makes Noivern potentially useful into it. In Incineroar, he has to get more plays, right? Not only does he have to Focus Blast, he has to break through and hit Focus Blast at the same time. He has to... First off, he has to click Focus Blast, then he has to break through, and he has to hit it. Odds are very low. I just go Jellicent, and it was Jellicent to beat it very well. Not very well, but better. As he clicks Thunder Wave, so that's annoying, but Jellicent being paralyzed isn't necessarily the biggest deal here. So here, this play is interesting because if I'm Hex, he definitely can't stay in. Even if I'm Scald, though, he doesn't do anything because he's paralyzed as well. So he could go Vileplume. The problem is Vileplume doesn't actually get you anything out of the turn because it just lets in Incineroar or it lets in Klefki because it doesn't do anything to either one of them. So, and like if I recover here, then essentially Pangoro can come in for free is what I'm saying. As I know Pangoro could come in here, and either way I don't have to recover here because Vileplume, or I easily recover my HP on Bronzong, and at this point I can even recover on Flygon. You saw how much it did earlier, it did like 25. Like, Earthquake's not doing anything from these mons, and I can recover potentially on Reuniclus if I get in a pinch. I can recover very easily. I know he's not going to go Raikou, so either I go for Wisp, knowing that he can either make the safe play into Vileplume, which a burn is still good into that, or he can make the aggressive play into Pangoro, because the only thing that would be bad is if I go for Scald or if I Wisp here. And I go for Wisp. Or no, I make that play later. Alright, well, I make that play later. I predict Vileplume this time, because I know Vileplume's coming in. Or Pangoro comes in and I'm faster and can get the Blitz off or U-turn or something. Sorry, I just spoiled the play later, because it's a good play later. But, yeah, Vileplume comes in. I know Vileplume's coming in. I think I just knock. It's just fine. He's roosting every time here, but I still just, like... There was a situation where, like, I feel more inclined to click U-turn, so he might feel more inclined to click Earthquake. But realistically, he's roosting every time. I probably could have called that, but I want to roost off of my Noivern anyway. So I just get my roost off. And I get back into Incineroar. It's constantly putting on pressure with Bronzong. And I U-turn this time, get in Noivern again. Like, here, do I Flame or do I... Yeah, I just Draco, because it's fine. It's just safe. I just make safe plays. Here... Okay, yeah. Here is where I make the Wisp play. So, it's for the same logic as before. Here, I'm definitely more inclined to click Recover, because now I'm sitting at 52. So now I'm even lower, so I'm much more inclined to click Recover. And Vileplume's already taken a Spike turn. If I double, then Vileplume's going to progressively get lower. And you don't want Vileplume low. It's not necessarily the biggest deal if it's low, but you certainly don't want it low. Because if I just constantly make aggressive switches on the Vileplume with Incineroar and Nidoqueen, you're forced out. You have to switch out. There's no prediction there. You have to switch out. And then you force yourself into a situation where Jellicent, and like Strength Sap doesn't give you the most versus like Klefki or, yeah, pretty much Klefki. But you're not getting enough back with Strength Sap if I constantly double. So I click Whisper knowing Pangoro could certainly come in, and I die, and he misses. So that really sucks. Then I get nothing out of the turn. I don't even get the recover off. And here, close combat is just completely free. At this point, it's 100% free. Because he's scrappy, and I'm like, fuck, I had to go Mimikyu. And he just blows me away. So yeah, that sucked. I knew he was going Pangoro, and I, you know, because he went Vileplume last time. So now he wants to make a more aggressive play into Pangoro, and I was not rewarded. So that's really bad. My Jellicen's low. It's not concerningly low, because I still come in on Bronzong comfortably. The problem is if he doubles. And I'm much more inclined to be able to get my Jellicent in on Bronzong now. Or get it in on, like, Flygon for free. Now I'm more inclined to get them in on these monsters. Now you could double into, like, Raikou and put on pressure. Or double into Vileplume and put on pressure. So yeah, it just really sucked. I know you're going Bronzong here, so I just click Rocks. I have to make aggressive plays. I wouldn't even die to close combat if you want to do that. He goes for Shadow Ball. I'm making the safe play into Noivern because I don't want him to have like Psychic or something on the Jellicent, and I can just roost easily. So yeah, but now with these hazards up, you are in Blitz range. So that's why I'm not too concerned about Pangoro at this point, because you're in range of Incineroar, outspeeding and kill you, in range of Nidoqueen outspeed, kill you, Klefki outspeeds and kills, Noivern outspeeds and kills. The only mon Pangoro can come in on is Jellicent. That's also why I figured Pangoro would want to come in there, is because that's the only mon it can really come in on. So yeah, I just roost. This is fine. Whatever he does, it's not really concerning. Iron Defense is far from really problematic. I Flame, which just does too much. As he jumps to Iron Defense again, which made no sense. I think he just expected Klefki to come in. But Body Press is not doing nearly enough. He almost times out here. His timer goes down to 5 seconds. Yeah, I just Flame. Did I just throw off a Draco? No, I just U-turn. Because I want the chip. I do U-turn even though I know he's Helmet and know he's staying in, because Flame into Draco kills next time. And I can get in my Jellicent to recover off the HP. As I click recover and I get full paralyzed. So my Jellicent is still dead, essentially. Now that he revealed Shadow Ball, it's almost actually just useless. I can still take a Shadow Ball even after one more Rock Switch, and I can still take an Earthquake from Flygon. The problem is I'm forced to do that. And now this play is annoying because it's kind of a 50-50, because what do I go Nidoqueen on Volt Switch, or do I go Noivern on like a Scald or something? So that really sucked. I do go Nidoqueen as he clicks Calm Mind. Calm Mind's a good play too. But I didn't really cover Noivern, so I think he just ultimately knew Nidoqueen was coming in. I switch back to Noivern as he does click Scald, and he doesn't get the burn, which is amazing. And I kill a Draco. I think I just clicked Draco at this point. I do just click Draco. It forces a recover. I know he's not doing anything like T-Wave or anything here, but he does click Knock, which sucks, because I don't want to take rocks. But again, this mon's faster than everything anyway, and roost up on like you and Vileplume if I have to. And Noivern, and Flygon. Like, I get roost off just fine. And I get roost on Reuniclus. Like, this knock doesn't actually matter that much. I go Keys, because I just want to get... I don't know, I just don't have anything else to go on, like, knock. It's just really annoying. And I'm just chipping it down, because if he gets full paralyzed one more time after this, then I kill it. He does not, though. He breaks free. I think I just click more Dazzling Gleams. Yeah. I do paralyze this, which is good, because if I can prevent its recovery. But it does reveal Leech Seed, which does suck, because it actually does get its HP back on Keys now. While before it would not have. Makes a good Strength Sap play. I just U-turn because ultimately, like, a knock into Vileplume is not gonna do anything anyway. But he gets you fucking Poison, which is also annoying because my Incineroar is very good here. Now that his Poison's a lot not so good. It's still good. It's just not as good. So he's getting pretty lucky at this point. He's gotten multiple full pairs. He's gotten a wisp, a wisp. Oh my god, a wisp dodge. So yeah, very lucky so far. I get a Nidoqueen though. On strength stat, not a big deal. I think it was Bronzong. I knew Bronzong was coming in, but I mean, I'm not gonna risk it. I click Thunderbolt. It can't really do much to me. All I could do is Body Press or Shadow Ball. Just not very concerned with either one of those moves. So I Ice Beam because Thunderbolt after will kill. And I did not want a hard Flygon there. But yeah, I got a bad Ice Beam roll, so it actually was like not 100%. It was still very much. It was not very much in my favor, but it was in my favor. Like these were both bad rolls, for the record. So the Thunderbolt was probably gonna kill. I make a good play here because I have to make a play here. Because if I go Noivern on U-turn, then he can go Reuniclus, or he can go right. No, he can't go right. He just goes Reuniclus, and like here, this nets me a kill, and I can only come in with Nidoqueen only so many more times. Like I can't Ice Beam on Reuniclus, so then I force like Earth Power, and he gets in Flygon, yada yada yada. So essentially, I know he's gonna click U-turn here, but Ice Beam nets me a kill now. So yeah, and he sacks Raikou, which is great for me because now he can't. Like it's just very good versus me. Goes back to Flygon. Here's where I go Jellicent because I could just say, hey, Jellicent's not useful. Clicks Earthquake. I get in Noivern. Now Draco is free. Because I don't want to. I didn't want to go Noivern on U-turn because Noivern at that point was insane. So I'm able to kill the Flygon. Pangoro does come in, but I mean I just deal with it at this point. He can click Close Combat. He kills Keys. That's fine. I don't need Keys at this point. I just go back to Nidoqueen. I'm faster. I know I am. I can just Ice Beam freely, or I can just Earth Power freely. If I get a parry here in Reuniclus, then I win. And at this point, like, there's just no way Pangoro can beat me. Pangoro plus Reuniclus cannot beat me. He has to hope for, like, some choke, and I go, yeah, he literally had to hope for, like, a choke. But I never have to switch. I just Earth Power again, and I do a KO. So I won. And so we go into the next day 1-2. And then I think we win the first match, so then we get 2-2. Anyway, we get a 3-3 situation, and we get to a 4-4 situation, and we play tiebreak. And we put me in. Yeah, I'm in. I'm not actually in, though. Should I do it on this? Can you see my screen if I go here? No, you can't. Can you see it if I do this? I guess I shouldn't do that. I just gonna RUGL. Do this. But yeah. I was supposed to play for tiebreak, but we 2-0'd. Yeah, we 2-0'd, so I didn't have to. Yeah. So anyway, really long video. It was 8 matches. I couldn't really go much faster, I think. I wanted to provide a more in-depth evaluation about the matches. As you can see here, number 1 seed. We went 4-1-2. We 8-0'd in week 2. Can't see it yet because it's taking a long ass time to load, but yeah. When it loads, I'm gonna go to our page and you can see our records. But yeah, I ended up being 6-3 and number 1 in Sword and Shield, which is not what I expected. Just in all honesty, it's just not what I expected. Oh yeah, our finals opponent was Sassy Stantlers, who we 8-0'd in week 2. And then they made roster changes. And then ended up actually making playoffs after starting with 2 ties and a loss. An 8-0 loss at that. So congrats to them. Whenever this shit loads, I will go over our stuff. Thank you. Alright, postseason thoughts. You see everyone's records. Toina, 7-1. Dominance, pure dominance. Does that even not include tiebreak? I guess not. And not include tiebreak. Why? Let's see. Who was wrong? Newman. Okay, so yeah, this is just including tiebreak, so I guess it's not coded properly. Lame. But yeah, I end the season 6-3. That's great. I guess it doesn't count. I'm tweaking. I guess it's not. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway. Postseason thoughts. Just going over everyone. First off, Mac 3. Origin, I did captain for this tournament was because Mace. I saw he signed up and he didn't have a co-captain. I was like, I was kind of interested in doing this. So then he needed a co-captain. I just DM'd him. I was like, hey, you want a co-captain? He's like, yeah, sure. So yeah, that was big. And then Oyster came in the server and helped. And then for the draft, Mace was not around. He couldn't be around. But Oyster was. So Oyster was around for like the second half of the draft. Maybe not even the second half. But yeah, just going over everyone. Twyna was complete luck in Sword and Shield every week. I mean, I just never had any doubt about Twyna in Sword and Shield. Scarlet and Violet. Obviously, the 7-1 record is the best on the team. By far. I just never had a doubt once about putting them in to that #1 SV slot. They were #1 SV all season, and they played like it. I mean, 7-1 is just complete dominance, and was an insta lock for tiebreak. Was the only insta lock actually for tiebreak. Because I just have 100% confidence in Twyna for winning. So yeah, Twyna was extremely good, and I'm very happy that. I mean, we got this for less than 10K, and it was. I'm pretty certain the best player in the entire tournament. Yeah, #1 in the entire tournament. By the way, beating. No. Maybe not playing. I thought he beat Corporate, but anyway, #1 player in the entire tournament. Pure dominance. And I don't know if they were necessarily the most involved in other SV slots, but I know that their SV slot was complete lock. And that's all we could ask from a 701 player that went for less than 10K. Like, I just 100% confidence in Twyna to win every week. And they essentially did. I mean, one loss. FB, Flamingo Pokemon. The support that Flamingo Pokemon, I just gonna say FP, that FP provided from being a starter. Might I add that FB was a starter and provided some of the best SV support I've ever seen in my life. I mean, was helping with every SV slot, I'm pretty certain. I'm pretty sure carried Zyles to that 5-1 record. Maybe carried Zyles to that 5-1 record. No, I'm kidding. We'll get to that. But FP was great as a player. Started every week. Never had a doubt. Honestly, 6-2. Also complete dominance. I mean, losing 2 games. Might I add, beating Corporate. Who, obviously very good. Won both their playoff matches. Semis and finals. I mean, it was just dominance by FP. And provided support. I know they provided scouts all season. Like, there was just very good. Like, yeah, just provided a lot of scouts like for every tier. Like every tier has scouts every week, all in like one day. So, and unbelievable how much help that was. Um, yeah. Uh, Never had a doubt about slotting them in. Just kind of like Toina, it's similar. Also went for only 10. I mean, 10K is a good chunk, but still 10K for a 6-2 record. Absolutely happy with that. FP was very good support and very much shout out. I very much appreciate FP. Uh, in terms of like everything, in terms of like play plus support, was maybe not the MVP of the team. Nah, it might just be. Actually, I bet FP was the MVP. If I had to give someone an MVP, it would either be Tawana or FP, I would have to say. When you just take into account the support FP gave, yeah, Tawana had the best record by far and was, by technicality, the MVP. But FP provided scouts every week on Monday. FP helped all of SV, I know. And even I was able to steal Swiss teams from FP. So, yeah, was definitely, in terms of everything, the MVP at the squad. I would not have been able to do it without FP. Then you got me, 6-3 record. We're not talking about me. Queen of Bean. Queen of Bean was the ADV player I wanted just because, I don't know. I just felt very comfortable with picking Queen of Bean. Just because looked very good in ADV. Had like whatever results it was. I forgot what it was. It like won the tournament or something, or like a second. I didn't know anything about ADV, but if I just kind of picked Queen of Bean, and then was the best ADV all tournament. You go to ADV, number one, and only lost like 2 games, and lost 2 games late. Lost in finals, lost week 7. Week 7 just didn't matter. We didn't need the win there. Lost the finals attack, which is okay. I mean, after the regular season performance, I have no complaints. But Queen of Bean was a slot where I was very comfortable slotting them in at ADV every week, and I was 100% confident in their ability. Especially because we actually did have a little bit of ADV support, but mostly managed that tier on her own. Like, because there's no one knew ADV. Like, no one could really support it. We tried to get a bit of support, like Diane Ratson, and I guess someone else that helped ADV too, but I forgot who. I don't remember who, but I think Oath knows a little ADV as well, but I don't know if they helped. But yeah, it just considering that Queen of Bean didn't have much ADV support because we simply didn't know the tier, and still put up a 6-3 record, still put up number 1 ADV. I don't know how you can complain. Was a lock in that almost got the tiebreaker slot. We just picked me because we could support it better. ADV was something we kind of couldn't support much because only like 2 people knew the tier. While SS, we had me, Mace, and Oyster all that could like have input on the team. Queen of Bean was like very much considered for ADV. Just didn't want them to be not necessarily tilted from finals losing, but yeah, was a comfortable slot, and a slot that we didn't have help in. Like, we could not help that. But yeah, Zaus, probably the most interesting player on it. Oh, maybe the second most interesting. I think Tykar is a little bit more interesting. But, I don't know. Zaus started the season as a bench player, because we started Ty Carter in SV initially. But Zaus subbed in week 1 in a slot there's no way Zaus knows, because he's like 12 years old. So there's no way he knows Black White. But after that, we subbed him in week 5, and he just didn't lose. Like, he just didn't lose until finals. That was it. Just didn't lose until finals. Oh, what the fuck? Get me out. How do I quit? Anyway. But yeah, Zaus after subbing in, starting week 5, because we went through just 2 roster changes. put in the effort. Uh, was a lock in SV until finals. But 5-1's amazing. I mean, 4K. We got Zoss just thinking that could just be a bench help, like could help uh, SV. And then he slots in and plays to that level. It's just definitely didn't have, like, I'm sure he didn't go into the season planning on going 5-1, you know, like, but it was amazing that he did. Very happy that he did. Our SV slots, Tawana, FP, and Zaus combined had 4 losses all season. Our SV starters had a combined 4 losses and 18 wins. 18-4 was our SV starters. That is just absolutely insane. And obviously not what you would expect, because I mean, who on earth would expect that? This is insane domination. And Zoss was a part of that, and I think that's very good. That Zoss kind of got his first team tour experience and went 5-1. I mean, absolutely showed out. Ty Carter, probably the most interesting player. We spent 15K, and then they started SB week 1, and then they started the first 4 weeks 1-3. So we didn't want to sub Ty Carter out, but we did want to move him out of SV, and we just happened to have, bless me, an Sun Moon slot open up, because we subbed out Roxy. But yeah, we spent 15K on Ty Carter, and I mean, that was it. I started in SV, went 1-3, and then we subbed him into Sun Moon, which is a tier he definitely did not know enough to like actually start there, but then we did, and then with my support, I just provided most of the teams, and then Neomon late in the season also provided help, a lot of help there. Shout out Neo, but went 1-3 in SV, and then subs into Sun Moon, and then absolutely dominated 4-1 in a tier he just simply probably didn't know. I think that was great. I mean, I think that was great. Congrats to Ty Carter for bouncing his season back. Cause I mean, it's not easy to bounce back after 1-3, dude. It's not. You start 1-3, it's like, am I really good? Am I really any good? But then have a heavy bounce back in the season 5-4, 4-1 in SM. That's just absolutely great. And it was active. Like, we didn't just give teams and he played. Like, he would talk about the team. He would test with the team. Like, he put in the effort. Like, it was not we gave him a team and he played and he won. He put in the effort. He tried. And that's good. That's what we wanted out of him. Neo was absolutely legendary in Black-White. I know the 4-4 record isn't anything like spectacular, but I mean, he started the season 3-0. I mean, he did, and probably you would think had a little bit of a lack of confidence, maybe, just maybe, after after starting 3-0 and then going without a win for like the next 4 weeks, losing 4 in a row. You lose confidence. But it ended up being. Can this get out of the way? Being plugged in to Oras in tiebreak. After not winning a game since week 3. Or maybe he won in Black-White. Did he win in Black-White for finals? Let me check. Either way, after not having a win for that long, you would think we'd have less confidence in him. We did not. Really, Neo was probably one of the most active players on the entire squad uh, late in the season. Um, yeah, one of the most active ones late in the season. Yeah, he literally he literally lost finals. Like he lost his finals match too in black white. So he just did not have a win. Uh, he was on a 5-loss streak after week 3, 4, after week 4. But we still slot him into tiebreak. Uh, again, after being 0-5 in the last 5 weeks, losing his semis and finals match. That just shows how much confidence we had in him. We had other guys that could slot in, but we chose Neo because we knew that, and this was a lot due to Mace and Oyster vouching, and I was like, all right, if you have full confidence in him, I have full confidence in him, and I knew how active Neo had been late in the season with supporting other cheers as well, and maybe was upset. You know, he lost 5 matches in a row. I'd be upset too, but you know. I'd be upset too, but then, you know, instead, we slot him into Oras, a tier he had not played all season, and then just won. Just won. Like, he broke that 5-loss streak in the best way possible. I think that's great. I think he did a great job doing that. He sealed the finals for us. That's what else could you ask for him? We won this tournament because of Neo and Toana. I didn't play, so it's just because of them two specifically. I mean, we won it because everybody, but in tiebreak, we won because of those two. Neo was great support down the stretch, and could not ask much more out of him either. Then we get to Oathkeeper, who we spent 22.5 on. Whether or not, like, obviously when you get a price tag that high, you don't have to perform, but you were supposed to perform, you know? I mean, that was 7k more, 7.5k more than our second priciest player. Plus, it was the costliest player in the entire tournament. Because specifically I wanted to have Oathkeeper. But and like obviously the 3-5 record, you know, probably isn't what you want to see out of your 22.5 like K player. But I think that that there's just context. Like we made Oathkeeper play this match. Like, we made Oathkeeper play in semis, and like I know Oath got a little bit unlucky in a couple of the games. I don't really remember specifically, but I know Oathkeeper got a little unlucky, and like his losses are to, you know, Mr. Aldo, lost to Legendary Serp. Like these are very good, competent players. His losses are to. He lost to Legendary Serp twice. He lost to Miami, and he lost to Mr. Aldo. And he lost to Lanner, which I don't know who this is, but like if you look at that, he lost to number 1 Oras. I see. He lost to number 1 Oras. Then he lost to Miami, who, you know, despite the record, is just a 4-4, but very good player. Mr. Aldo, very good player. And Delaney will have whatever record, but like he lost to number 1 Oras, and he lost to, you know, 2 other great players who can start in, you know, other team tournaments, and you would not think twice about starting them in a team tournament. It's just there's always context to losses and wins. I think that's a big deal with Oathkeeper. And not only that, it's we never went into a week where we thought Oathkeeper wouldn't be ready. Oathkeeper was always ready, and I know he does a fuck ton of tournaments, so it's like, damn. And Oros isn't something we really had the best support in. We had support, like, but not like the best in. Like me in Sword and Shield, I had Mace and Confident Oyster supporting me. I had probably the best support, other than like, unless you want to say SV is better. I had the best support in the entire squad. Uh, but yeah. Uh, Obviously, I still got 3 wins, and I don't think you can really complain about that. Uh, Oathkeeper was one of our reasons for why we, made finals. Uh, it's not like you tanked completely. It's not like you went 2-6, 1-7. You still got 3 wins. Your wins were important. You lose here, 4-4. Lose here, we don't get the 8. No, I'd be mad too. One here too would have been 4-4. Like, imagine these are ties. We were not locked for playoffs at that point if we get these ties, and you had important wins. Obviously you could say like, the losses. You just don't want to have 5 losses ever, unless I guess you played like 10 games. But I would draft Oathkeeper again, and like whether or not put up #1 in the entire tournament, like numbers in terms of just record comparatively to your price, I'm just not concerned. I just was never concerned with that. I was super confident in Oath every week. I was super confident that Oath would be prepared every week. And I don't think losing to some of the top representatives of, the ORAS tier are really, I can't really fault you that much. Then we get a Roxy. Roxy, I don't really have too much to say. Played the first 4 weeks, went 1-3, kind of just got subbed down after that. Good things. Beat LPZ, which is actually a good thing because LPZ is very good, but just in all honesty, it wasn't active. Didn't test teams. Would just get a team pass and play. Didn't even know when they were playing most of the time. But I still slotted in, starting week 1. Still, yeah. Still slotted in. It was still a week 1 starter, and I'm glad that we picked them up and gave them a chance. Then we get to Acid. There's not too much to say about Acid, just because I know mid-season went through some IRL stuff, and that's very unfortunate for them. And so obviously Mons is, the last of the concerns then. But yeah, got it for 5-5. I think provided some support in some tiers. Provided some SV support, but other than that, I had IRL stuff going on. I know for like all the playoffs, I know just for like all the final weeks period, just had IRL stuff going on, and that's a lot more concerning than Pokemon. There's more to, more to life than Pokemon. Diane Ranson, I know actually helped in ADV. Probably only helped in ADV, but I think that's fine given the teams didn't have good ADV support. I think that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with Diane Ransom. Obviously slotted in 1 week lost. All of our bench players lost in the 1 week they slotted in. But I mean, that's fine. But yeah, provided very helpful ADV support. I know provided input on teams specifically. And I know in the playoff teams that Queen of Bean brought, I know Diane Ranson had support. Had supported them, like gave input. I think that's all you can really ask for, a 4K bench player. I don't think there's any problem with that. Any bit of support in the tier that they, want to support it in, and they are a good support in, I think as long as they do that, I have no problem. And then get to SBPC, who was at the end, amazing support. I know was helping in multiple tiers actually. Was helping in, I know Neo credited SBPC with the ORAS win, said could not have done it without him, and I totally agree. Uh, SPPC also tested my SS team a lot, and like helped me try to build something. It didn't really work, but perhaps passed me something that I'm going to use in future weeks of something else. But yeah, SPPC late season support was very, very helpful. Come playoff time, 10 out of 10. Would draft again, absolutely. Went for only 3K. Toot was the lowest priced player on the entire team. And again, I think it's fine. You're a 3K player, providing any type of support is good. And just given the amount of support the SPPC provided late, I mean, come playoff time, SPPC was very, very helpful. I don't know how much SV support they provided, but I know SS support. We tested my team and gave input, and then come Oras, like, seriously helped Neo win that tiebreaker match. All in all, very happy with them. But that's all our players. That's all my matches. Final season thoughts are we had a very good season and we fucking won. That's it. We fucking won. Literally could not have been better. We were number one all season except for 1 week. We were not oh, I guess after week 2, I'm pretty sure we stayed number 1. Or maybe even week 1 we stayed number 1 because I think everyone tied week 1. No, everyone tied except one person. So yeah, we were just after week 2, I don't think we dropped below number 1. Yeah, after week 2, we did not fall below number 1, except 1 week for here. And then we immediately went back to number 1 the next week. Like, and then we played like it in the playoffs. We did it. We overcame the number 1 seed curse, too. So, I guess we're liquidating until the day we die. Shout out, Zosh. What up? But yeah, long video that no one's gonna see, but it's important stuff. It's important stuff. But yeah, I shall see you guys whenever I upload my Sun and Moon Premier League recap, which I'm sure will happen. Shall see you guys then.